Koiki Media, we're bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Koiki Media, Koiki Media, Koiki Media, we bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Koiki Media, Koiki Media, Koiki Media, we bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Àwọn sálára àgbà yìí dá, àwa ló láṣà àti èdè. Gbígbédè lárugẹ nílẹ̀ Oòduà o, àwa gangan ni bàbá. Koiki Media, Koiki Media, Koiki Media, we bringing the world closer to your doorstep. They never sabi wetin we carry for her, but they move closer before they go sabi. I said they never know wetin we carry for body, but they move closer before they go sabi. Ọ̀kín lọ lọ́jà ẹyẹ, kìnìún ló ló lajú. Ẹyẹ tó dorí kodò bí àdán ọ̀pẹ̀jẹ̀ lẹ́nu. Ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ilẹ̀ bàbá wa, ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ìlú bàbá wa, ká jùmọ̀ sowọ́pọ̀ ká lè gbó Odùduwà ga. Odùduwà kò bá lè gbé wa. Ọmọ Odùduwà ṣe gírí. Ẹ dìde fún ẹ̀tọ́ adúláwọ̀, ká lè jọ jùmọ̀ gbé délẹ̀ ìlérí. Ká wálé gba ògo ilẹ̀ wa, ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká lè jọ gbàdé, ká lè gbàdé adé adúláwọ̀. Àwa ni ìmọ̀lẹ̀ tí yóò tàn káàkiri. Pé ọmọ Odùduwà ni wá. Koiki Media, àwa là ń gbé tó lárugẹ. Ètò tó gbójú ògbó tí wàá mọ̀ ní. Kásá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wá kájé bùgbà yín jẹ. Ètò tó gbójú ògbó tí wàá mọ̀ ní. À ń gbé tó lárugẹ, à ń gbàsà lárugẹ. Ètò tó gbójú ògbó tí wàá mọ̀ ní. News and sports ẹ máa rí gbọ́. Ètò tó gbójú ògbó tí wàá mọ̀ ní. Ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi ló ní kí n máa ké tantan. Koiki Media ọ̀rọ̀ lágbájúmọ̀ mi o, máa bá ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ o. Ọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn, ọmọ Yorùbá tata o. À ń gbádùn rẹ ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi, ṣẹ́yìn ló máa fi dìbò tẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ o. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa ń dé mádémádé, ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa wọ̀ o. Igbó máa wọ̀ gbàjòjì ò gbọ́dọ̀ wọ, àjòjì tó bá wọ bẹ́ẹ̀ á tẹ̀lé ní ẹbọra. Ẹ̀yin lọ́ máa náwó kóyìnbó tó dé, ìgbà tó yìnbó dé o, owó náà dẹ́ tún pọ̀ sí o. Koiki Media ṣàwa ní bàbá. Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá. Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá. Àdáńtọ́ àtúnpèrègèdè. Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá. Àwa là ń gbé tó lárugẹ, jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ o. Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá. Àtúnjà fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa, fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá. Ọmọ Oòduà ni wá o, tọkàntọkàn. Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá. Ikú tí ó ṣe bí lébi òsì, àdìmú bàbá iyọ̀. Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá. We bring you work closer to your doorstep. Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá. Afẹ́fẹ́ tó ń fẹ́ òòtún kan kí oko lára ni. Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá. Àpèrègèdè Olódùmarè ló fún wa ṣe. Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá. Gbogbo ayé ẹ gbọ́, àwa ní bàbá o. Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá. Ẹ máa bọ̀ wá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà yín wá o. Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá. Odùduwà lágbé dání, òtítọ́ lágbé dání. Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá. A kì í sọ̀dálẹ̀, a kì í sóní kẹta. Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá. A dúró tán, a tún pèrègèdè. Koiki Media àwọn ní bàbá. walk closer to your doorstep. Koiki Media is around
To give us latest.
Is around
To give us latest.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀, ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó kojú gbogbo.
ladies and gentlemen,
Ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀, ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó kojú gbogbo.
Koiki Media is around.
To give us latest.
Koiki Media.
Well, and a very good morning and welcome once again back to our transmission. My name is Adeyemo Koiki, popularly known as Koiki Media, as we continue our quest and as we continue to find some lasting solution to some of the problems that is encountering in Nigeria today. This broadcast will fully as much about 80 to 85% be in English, because I'm also carrying along our Biafra brothers and also the Arewa and the Ijo, because we are all involved and we are all entrapped in this amalgamation. So please, to my Yoruba audience, do not ask me to speak in Yoruba. If you are not comfortable with this broadcast, you have the right. The social media is very full of different things where you can listen to a 24 hours Yoruba program without interruption. This is my platform and I will run it the way I believe I should according to my own knowledge. So this broadcast this morning, depending on the time that you are, we are currently 9:30 a.m. in London. I just woke up not too long. And as I was waking up, as usual, something would spark me and then I would decide I just want to come and talk. Because sometimes, if you don't say the way you say it at the particular time that is burning in you, I might probably forget, especially when you have a family life, you have so many other things happening. But what I read or what I listened to this morning is the reason why this spark is coming up again this morning. That does not mean that we might not have another program that will be a Yoruba program, but I beg you, my Yoruba audience, do not ask me to speak in Yoruba, not that I don't want to. I am carrying along the Biafra this morning. This program will be much more focused on our brother, a man that has spoken for the truth, not because he was a Nigerian prior before becoming a British citizen. He supported as many of so many injustices that has taken place in Nigeria. And I'm talking about Nnamdi Kanu. So this particular broadcast is not just going to center on him, but it will also center back to what led to Nnamdi Kanu detention, rendition, kidnapping, and also similar to what almost took place when Igboho was almost killed. Now that we have almost the same thing that happened to Nnamdi Kanu happened to Igboho, a lot of Yoruba people decided that maybe what Nnamdi Kanu was fighting for was right. We might not agree with all his views. Some might say that he wanted Lagos to be burnt down. As far as I'm concerned, Nigeria has been burnt down ever since the 1914 amalgamation. The 1960 independence was a very, very fraudulent one. The Britain supported the North against every one of us. Yes, some might argue that Agurose destroyed the regional government. I never believed that we were given anything called a regional government, nor an independent. That is my opinion, because the British knew that merging us all together was kind of a friction that will be very, very dangerous for the near future. That amalgamation expired in 2014, yet many politicians today continue to believe that that amalgamation must continue. Nigeria was a project. Nigeria was never brought for any reason more than a project and a business center to the British Empire. So I'm going to start with the video that I picked up this morning from Aloy Ejimakor. As many of us know, Aloy Ejimakor is one of the lead counsel for our brother Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And what he said gave us some kind of what many of us might probably not know. Not that we do not know, but the better insight of why 8 years down the line, Nnamdi Kanu is still being tortured for a crime asking for self-determination. And let me remind us, whatever your take as Nigerians, that country will be pulled down. It does not matter how soon, it does not matter when, but Nigeria will cease to exist as a country. How long is what I don't know, but the way things are right now, you cannot stop the Biafra. It does not matter the hatred that we have for the Igbos. Neither can we stop the Arewa when they are fully ready to take back what belongs to them that was taken away by the Fulanis. Likewise, the Yorubas, as much as we might have some Yoruba that disagree with us, that are calling themselves Yoruba Runu or Yoruba politicians, some of us that have now stood firm with their throat will pull down ourselves away from Nigeria. For us to develop, for us to have a better understanding of who we are, we need to get the hell out of Nigeria as quickly as possible. The Ijaw will rise up. Every indigenous people will fight what was created, because we were not consulted, neither was Jesus Christ or Muhammad or our tradition consulted when Lugard decided that he would take charge and merge every one of us together in a fraudulent amalgamation. And this has led to many problems in Nigeria today. Some talk about leadership problem. I don't think so. What is the problem is that we need everybody to go back to their separate ways. Some might argue that what then happened to the intermarriage? Look, you marry other people around the world. Immigration deals with that. Constitution of each of the country, wherever you are, including African countries, we have always been intermarried. That does not mean we cannot break away, and breaking away is not a war. So I want you to sit back. I'm going to get my coffee as well. But before we play the Aloy Ejimakor, maybe we should start with some of our, few intro regarding to what is this Northern Protectorate, Southern Protectorate. But for us to have a better understanding about self-determination. Is self-determination a crime? Let's start with a video that we have, that we played always. This is Scottish people asking for the same right Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is doing, and likewise Igboho is asking for Akintoye, the Ijaws, and many people that want to be free from the shackles of what is known as Nigeria. Nigeria will go down like the Titanic, and it will never exist. That name will not be entrenched to our name anymore, because we are not Nigerians. We are Yoruba, they are Biafra, they are Arewa, they are Ijaw, and this means that everybody must now come back on the round table. Tinubu will not be a president of a lifetime. Even if he tried to, he will die along the line, because death will come to each one of us at an appropriate time. The Yoruba must wake up. We are not one. Some of you will not even have the privilege to live in the north, not even the southeast, that we have argued that land cannot be brought by Yoruba people in the southeast. So why then do we want to remain one as one entity? Let everybody go their separate way so that we can build a new system that works for us under a proper legitimate identity. Let's start with this.
Freedom
what you watched there was the Scottish people without no arms, without no ammunition, raising their flags, asking for freedom for Scotland. I know some of you will always want to say that the Biafra are armed. Well, right now, if they are armed, they have all the right to defend themselves from the Fulani terrorists, just like we are doing as well. So if anybody is saying that the IPOB has always been a very, very armed militant, I disagree. They were carrying a flag. They were doing exactly what the Scottish people were doing, as you saw in that video. For those of you that are watching us, if you're on Instagram, sorry, you will just have to look into my eyes for the rest of the program. If you want to watch what is happening behind, you might go to other platform where you can see my image coming straight from my broadcast using the OBS, which anyone can use. We need as many media to come out from the Biafra. We need as many media to come out from the Ijo. The Arewa, we must support them anytime, as especially one of our sisters called, I believe, I can't remember her name. She's been speaking very well. If you come across her video, do share it, because that is the only way we can support each other. We will not have a Yoruba country where the Igbos will write our constitution, neither vice versa. The Biafra, the Arewa will have their country. I will not determine how they want to run that country. But right now in Nigeria, you will not be able to do all such. So what we watched was the Scottish people, where I was attending that event as well. As we were shouting freedom for Palestinians, we were also shouting freedom for Scotland. The only thing is we also shouted freedom for Yoruba people, because we had some Yoruba people that traveled for that particular event, I believe sometime about 3 years ago, if I'm right with my timing. But today, many Igbos continue to be attacked and killed and kidnapped. But the major one that sparked the global world was the kidnap of Nnamdi Kanu. And let me say this clearly. Nnamdi Kanu was not flying back to Nigeria on a holiday. He was kidnapped. All that in a 17 minutes or less of Aloy Ejimako taking us back. So as far back as how Nnamdi Kanu came back in 2015, but we know that Buhari, the monster that have left the power now, and the ball is now in the hands of Tinubu to do the needful, use the presidential, executive order, and allow this case to die down. That does not mean that Nnamdi Kanu must sign anything to say that he will stop agitating or asking for this Biafra. All we are saying to Tinubu is give him the presidential executive order to allow him to go. Even if you don't want him to be in Nigeria, you can escort him, just as he was done, back on a private jet that the Biafra will be able to buy or sponsor, and let him leave Nigeria peacefully for now. If otherwise, let me say this to everyone in Nigeria, there will be another civil war, and there will be bloodshed, there will be millions of people that will die, and Nigeria will cease to exist. That is the fact. Nigeria cannot hold indigenous people backward, because we are asking, who is behind the Nigeria of today? Who is actually holding the division of Nigeria? Is it the British that decided to keep mute, knowing that Nnamdi Kanu does not hold any longer a Nigerian passport? He denounced that. But it seems that the Britain, where I live, think that they will hold every one of us back. They will not be able to stop me, neither will they be able to stop the Biafra. We will shut down Nigeria at the appropriate time. We will bring it down. But for now, we will first educate and give all the reasons why we need to go. Nobody, not even Joe Biden, can stop what is about to happen to Nigeria. The least they will do is move their citizens out of Nigeria and allow us to face the federal government. If it has to be fire for fire, it's going to happen. I can tell you that. How soon is what we don't know. But the Biafra are gearing up. They are doing what they called right now their self-independent referendum. They will pull out of Nigeria. They will fight back. Whoever wants to die will die. 40,000 people have died so far in Palestinian. America has not stopped the war. You will not be able to stop the war that is going to come in Nigeria again. Let's listen to Benny Sandy. Many of you might not know him. He's a member of America's Senator. He was appearing on the Sky News right here in UK. Sky News is one of the most powerful news networks in UK and in Europe and around the world. But as Benny Grant was asked this question, what was the question? Let's take time and listen.
There is one constitutional issue in the UK that I'm really interested, genuinely, to know what your opinion is on it, and that's Scottish independence. Look, it might be something that you haven't given much thought to, but over here it's such a live debate because, of course, we're looking for a new leader of the Scottish National Party. And one of the arguments is that, look, Scotland tends to attack more left politically. They've obviously had a Conservative government in Westminster for over a decade. What's your instinct on it? What's your gut say?
Look, I'm not an expert on UK politics. I very much appreciate what the people of Scotland have done, what they're fighting for. And my, initial thought, not being an expert, they want to go their own way, they should be allowed to.
So you think they should at least have the opportunity to
that would seem to me. Don't tell anybody I said that.
Don't worry, that's just between us.
Okay.
Don't worry, it won't go anywhere.
It looks like it's a joke, but in reality, self-determination is not a crime. Self-determination has never, under the African Union Charter, under the United International Law, under the United Nations, but it seems that the federal government thinks that they can do and undo and shut down people that are campaigning for self-determination because we do not agree with their criminality, the corruption, holding indigenous people back, but they are part of the proxy for the West, and we know that. Whether it's Britain, France, whether it's America, it seems that they just want us to believe that we are one Nigeria, and few people enjoy Nigeria. Like I always say, that will cease to exist. When that stops, we can then all go back our separate ways. If we then want to have people that want to live with us, they would abide by the new rules. Let me take you to one more video before we then play Aloy Jimako, which I picked up this morning. This was also a senior advocate of Nigeria saying, look, there's always a solution to problems. There will always be problems. Even when there's a Biafra country, they will have problems. Even when there's a Yoruba country, there will be problem. Arewa country, there will be problem. But let that problem be within those countries, not the one that was formulated and put together in a fraudulent amalgamation by Lugard. And let me make this clearly. Lugard was not working on his own. Lugard was representing a country, as at the time, known as Britain. So whatever transpired by Lugard was endorsed, appreciated, given the full backing of the law as at the time for Lugard by the empire. That 100 years has expired. But it seems that many people doesn't want that expiration to completely pull down. 14 years after the amalgamation, it seems that many of us are still being told lies. But this president, a former president, told us that the reason why Nigeria is still where it is today, he stated it clearly, is because Britain wants Nigeria to remain one. But we, the indigenous people, will say to the British eyes, to King Charles, to whoever their government is today, Sir Keir Starmer, that we want to exit, but we are not going to take permission from you. Those permissions will not be from Britain. Those permissions will be from the indigenous people. If they are saying yes, they want to go, Britain cannot stop it. Let's listen to Jonathan at one of his videos that we've always played. Just as this broadcast, I want it to be documented as well today.
Thinking about how we've been having this conversation about the unity of Nigeria. And I reflect back at some of the prominent statements made by some of our founding leaders. And I feel that probably this will help us to have a conversation on the Nigerian unity. I just brought four, not to bore you. First, and I quote, not my statement, Nigeria is not a nation. It's a mere geographical expression. There are no Nigerians in the same sense as there are English, Welsh, or French. The word Nigerian is merely a distinctive appellation to distinguish those who live within the boundaries of Nigeria from those who do not. This is accredited to Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the former Prime Minister of the Western region. The second one, and I quote, it is true that we politicians always delight in talking loosely about the unity of Nigeria. 60 years ago, there was no country called Nigeria. What is now Nigeria consisted of several large and small communities, all of which were different in their outlooks and beliefs. The advent of the British and that of Western education has not materially altered the situation, and the many and varied communities have not knit themselves into a composite unit. This is accredited to Sir Amadu Bello, former Premier of Northern Region. They thought, and I quote, "Since 1914, the British government has been trying to make Nigeria into one country. But the Nigerian people themselves are historically different in their backgrounds, in their religious beliefs and customs, and do not show themselves any sign of willingness to unite. The Nigerian unity is only a British intention for the country."
Impediment to Yoruba development is the impediment to Odua development. Without Nigeria, we won't be where we are. 1962, we were far ahead of South Korea and North Korea. We were far ahead of China even. We had television before France. We had radio before South Africa. Now look at where we are today. I think it's a shame that even any Yoruba man can be talking about restructuring at this point in time. What are we restructuring? This country that is already shot to pieces? I don't think that's what we want. But they are always talking about giving Nigeria a chance. The patience of Yoruba with Nigeria has come to an end.
If you don't allow we Biafrans to go, that zoological republic called Nigeria will be a worse place than Somalia. And today it is happening. And if you have not applied for your Somalian visa, please try and do so. Should I say Somali visa? Try and do so as quickly as possible, because the zoo is on the path of destruction, and there is nothing man can do to reverse it. Mark today's date and what I'm telling you. Nigeria will be destroyed beyond human comprehension.
As we continue to give you some of the highlight of what people have said, that was Nnamdi Kanu prior before he was kidnapped from Kenya, which I will be giving you a full details. Happy Sunday. I will not be mentioning names, but we'll appreciate you towards the end of the program. Sit back. I'm going to get my coffee as well. If you're new to this platform, we discuss how we are going to divide Nigeria. We hope it can be done amicably. It has been done before in some countries without so much violence. Soviet Union dissolved. There was not so much violence. Yugoslavia decided not to accept a proper breakup of Yugoslavia. Slobodan Milosevic eventually died while he was waiting for trial. We do not want Tinubu to die waiting for trial, but Tinubu cannot stop anyone from asking for self-determination, because we have evidence that Tinubu himself said he does not believe in one Nigeria. But that's not where we're going. Let's listen to the actual video I wanted to play. It was taking me a bit of time, because as an individual independent media, I do not have staff that are working behind me. So that means I am the one uploading the video, and it sometimes can take a bit of time to get the video that I was looking for. I was actually looking for this particular video, and then I will go straight to what Oluwole have said. It's coming up to 9:53 a.m. Like I said, do not ask me to speak in Yoruba this morning. This broadcast is just for everyone, not just Yoruba people. Please respect this platform. If you're Biafra, respect this platform. Do not attack Yoruba people. I will curse you. I will block you. I love Simon Ekpa. My last communication with your Prime Minister, I can tell you that we are in close communication, and we continue to work partner to partner until the breakup of Nigeria. I don't have to give you all the details. I have stated it clearly that Simon Ekpa is the only one that Nnamdi Kanu introduced to myself and Igboho as the main representative of the Biafra. He does not talk about DOS. When we had that meeting, it was not 1, 2, 3, 4 meetings that we held, and I don't have to give you all the details. That was prior before he was kidnapped by the Fulani Muhammadu Buhari and a Yoruba man. Because we tend to talk about Buhari, but we forget about that. Yemi Osinbajo was part of that government. He was a lawyer. I don't know which kind of lawyer he was, but we know that he was a short-man devil. He was never a Christian, because if he was a true Christian with his well-learned against Buhari, he would have said to Buhari, this, what you've done, is not permissible under international law. But as we know, They are all the same. He had an agenda, he wanted to be the president, but we saw what the Fulani did with his penis. They squeezed it. And at the end of the day, Tinubu has not even recognized this man called Yemi Osinbajo since Tinubu has been in power for 1 year. That's not where we're going. Let's listen to Mike, one of the legal lawyers as well, that has spoken against the injustice, not just in Nnamdi Kanu, but to also our own Oluwole Adeyemo Igboho.
If I may just
Sunday Igboho,
yes,
who was also arrested,
right.
I've written severally on it that he should also, because his determination for Oduduwa Republic is not a crime known international law.
And that's the point I'm trying to make. That's the point I'm trying to raise with you. If it were not signaled to non-state actors and other ethnic agitators that they can actually go ahead, in the event that President Muhammadu Buhari really responds to your appeal.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
You and I, we are living in Nigeria. You are talking about harmless people who are not armed. Are you not aware that in this country, some Boko Haram, some people accused of Boko Haram were released and traded for others by way of a quid pro quo? They say, okay, release some of us, then we will release some of your detained citizens. Are you not aware that that has gone on in this country? So what is the bad precedent of saying a non-violent person should be released from detention, from illegal detention, a detention that the United Nations have been found to be illegal and to be unconstitutional and to be torturous? I do not see anything that is setting any bad precedent there in a situation where as a matter of fact, some Boko Haram and armed bandits are being released in exchange for some of their members, where kidnappers are demanding from parents of children they have kidnapped to buy tarodo, tatashe, tomatoes, vegetable oil, palm oil, uba, to buy salt, to buy rice, for them, beans, yams, for them to feed their children so as to keep them alive, to enable the parents pay ransom for them. What is the long precedent here that we are just saying release, find a political solution by going through the tenets and the provisions of the law? I do not personally see anything wrong with that at all, and there's none that I know of. And I cannot see it leading to any floodgate or any resurgence by other people coming to say, criminals coming to say, oh, you must also give me reprieve. It does not happen that way. How many Nnamdi Kanus do you have in Nigeria? And how many Sunday Igbohos do you have in Nigeria? These are people who have carried the specter of their people on their heads, and they have become a metaphor for their self-determination struggle.
Well, now that we've taken you through a kind of a journey for almost 34 minutes, where we have points that self-determination is not a crime, it can never be a crime, but I think we should add this video. Then, as you can see, I've brought in Aloy Ejimako's face onto the screen. On your right-hand side, that is Bola Tinubu, the current president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, said, quote, as well, I don't believe in one Nigeria. But before that, let's add this other video, then I will then release what Aloy Ejimako said, taking us back in an 18-minute, 11-second video, how details of Nnamdi Kanu asking for self-determination, coming in and out of Nigeria until 2015, when Buhari, the monster, dead or alive, the criminal Fulani man that was not even part of Nigeria, brought from the jail, allowed to become a military trained in Sandhurst in UK, yet came back to become a democratic president in 2015. He was not taking it with Nnamdi Kanu. He decided that Nnamdi Kanu must be killed. We thought that Nnamdi Kanu was just attacking us, until we now realize that Igboho was going to be killed as well. I'll tell you all about that, because I would have been a dead man if I was in Igboho's house on the 1st of July 2021, just like the Python dance, wanted to assassinate and kill Nnamdi Kanu on the 2017 while he was on bail. We have Dezani in London on bail. Nobody is going to kill her. Nobody is going to attack her. She has the right to be on bail until the court case comes back next year. Why then did Buhari send in the military to kill Nnamdi Kanu? Who is behind it? Is it Britain? Is it America? Is it the West? Who does not want Biafra, Arewa, Ijo, Yoruba country to pull out, knowing that when this country pull out, we would also be competing, just like India is competing with the world today, just like all the countries that are not even up to the population of Ondo State. What we are saying is, let's still find a meaningful dialogue to resolve all this problem. If not, millions of more people will die and Nigeria will cease to exist. I will not stop saying that. We do not want bloodshed, but I do not see any reason why bloodshed is not coming if Tinubu continues to think that with his coconut head, he does not want to release Nnamdi Kanu on an executive order because maybe one country is saying to Tinubu, please, just keep him there as much as you can. We told Buhari the same thing. The Biafra will fight back and the Yoruba must keep shut when that time comes. Let's listen to this short 1-minute video, then we release the Aloy Ejimako video. Share the program, invite others. If you are new to this platform, it is called the Self-Determination Platform under the leadership of Professor Adebanji Akintoye.
Other countries were refused. But we have to remember, and this is a really important point, that self-determination is an inalienable international right and a law as well. And other countries will recognise Scotland's democratic choice expressed at the ballot box. They will recognise that because that is the route that many other countries have taken in order to become independent. And just to make that point, that international law is very pragmatic on that point. So we should have confidence in that.
So international law is very, very pragmatic about that. The Scottish people continue to push for self-determination. The Welsh people continue to push. Even the Good Friday Agreement is still very shaky, but we know that the island have become out of what is known as UK. So the Yoruba people will go, Arewa will be a country, Ijo will be a country, and you will not stop the Biafra. It does not matter the hatred that we have for them. I am not here defending them. I am not their spokesperson. All I am saying is, for peace to come back to sanity, then we should allow every country to go their separate way. So now is the time to listen to the lead counsel of Nnamdi Kanu on this 18 minutes, 11 seconds. I have listened to it before. I'll just be listening to it on the background with my coffee this morning. Happy Sunday, Sunday broadcast, as we say, 21st of July, 2024. Same time with me with Nigeria, 2 minutes past 10 a.m. Like I said, just share the broadcast and invite others to join us.
Wearing two hats. I'm speaking on behalf of Nnamdi Kanu. I'm also speaking on my own behalf. My name is Aloy Ejimako. I'm the special counsel to Nnamdi Kanu and the indigenous people of Biafra. And I'm speaking to you from a location in Nigeria. The man, Nnamdi Kanu, is well known. He's everywhere. He's on Wikipedia. He's an internationally acclaimed freedom fighter. But there's just a few things I need to tell you about him. What brought him to limelight was the formation of the indigenous people of Biafra in the United Kingdom in 2012. Simultaneously, he also founded Radio Biafra. And these two organizations were aimed at one thing: liberation for the people of Biafra, or restoration of the former Republic of Biafra that went defunct in 1970. The right to self-determination is a right that is guaranteed internationally, domestically, and continentally. It's within the black letters of Nigerian law at Article 20 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. The right to self-determination is guaranteed. So the formation of IPOB did not break any law. Not laws of the United Kingdom, not international law, not Nigerian law. But guess what? When Nnamdi Kanu, who was born in Nigeria, but who acquired British citizenship later on, came to Nigeria in October 2015, the government of President Muhammadu Buhari, which had come to power in May, decided to arrest him. He was not arrested between 2012 and 2015 because the government of the day at that time understood that self-determination is not a crime. But the government that came into power in 2015 in May decided that self-determination is going to be treated as a criminal activity. So he was arrested in Lagos. He was charged for treason, also for insulting the president and illegal importation of ready equipment. 3 charges. The treason one, they split it into 2, treason by himself and treason by conspiracy. This thing went on from 2015 until April 2017, when he was eventually granted bail. So he was detained for nearly 18 months. After granting him bail, he returned to his ancestral home in the southeastern part of Nigeria, and he was enjoying his bail when suddenly...
Are you an immigrant working tirelessly?
Between 10 September and 14 September 2017, the Nigerian army, without any justification whatsoever, levied lethal, massive military operations against Nnamdi Kanu's ancestral home. That day, he was sitting at home with so many people, his family members, including his 2 elderly parents. The attack was lightning, it was a bleakridge, it was massive, and it was not the type of an attack you will expect a national military force to levy on a civilian location. But they did. At the end of the day, 28 people lost their lives. Nnamdi Kanu sustained injuries. His parents sustained injuries as well, but somehow, by the grace of God, they all managed to escape. From there, the rest is history. And because there was a national and international manhunt for him by the security forces, which rules of engagement was to shoot, not to maim. If you see Nnamdi Kanu, if you encounter him anywhere, shoot not to maim. Not to maim, but shoot to kill. That's what they went there to do on 10 September, but they didn't succeed. But it went on. They went on in a manhunt. So Nnamdi Kanu was forced to flee the municipal boundaries of Nigeria in search of safe haven overseas. Eventually, in May 2021, he settled in Kenya. He entered Nairobi and settled in Kenya somewhere. He never knew that Nigerian security forces, the international branch of it, were laying in wait for him. They led an ambush for him. So on 19th June 2021, he drove himself to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport on a personal errand. As soon as he drove into the parking lot and alighted from his vehicle, several well-armed security men suspected to be of a mixture of Nigerian and Kenyan security forces swooped on him, grabbed him, abducted him, and put him forcibly in a vehicle and drove away. Well, they didn't take him to the police station. They didn't take him to immigration because he was a foreigner. He should have been taken to immigration. They didn't take him to any official law enforcement facility. They took him to a secret location in Nairobi, a non-official secret location. So in effect, they disappeared him. And they kept him at that secret location for a whole 8 days. And those 8 days, he endured horrendous torture. All these are matters of record between the various tribunals and courts before whom this matter has been brought. I cannot begin to give you all the details. Horrendous torture in violation of basic human rights, in violation of the laws of Kenya, Nigeria, and the international community. When Nnamdi Kanu was abducted on 19th June 2021, the proper thing that should have been done is to take him to a police station, from there to a court. And then if you wanted him back in Nigeria, you subject him to what is called extradition proceedings. This is a basic tenet of the law that you see in the laws of any nation. Kenya has an extradition act to which Nnamdi Kanu should have been subjected. But guess what? They didn't do that. They rather disappeared him for 8 days, tortured him to their heart's content. And on 27th June, they secretly brought him out from this location and took him through the back doors, evading Kenyan immigration, direct to the tarmac of Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, Nairobi, where a private plane was waiting. They bundled him into the plane, chained him to the chair, and everything. They endured 5-6 hours flight from Nairobi to Kenya in the most excruciating circumstances. They arrived in Nigeria late in the evening, and the plane flew back to Nairobi. They took him to the headquarters of the National Intelligence Agency in Abuja, where he spent the first night with all the lights left on to assure his maximum discomfort. The following day, they transferred him to the headquarters of Directorate of State Security in Abuja. And on the third day, they brought him before the Federal High Court in Abuja. The Federal High Court was well aware that Nnamdi Kanu has cancer.
Hey, sorry for interrupting your video. I'm going to...
record. It was an open case. It wasn't a new case, a pre-existing case. But the Federal High Court decided to conduct the arraignment in violation of his constitutional right to counsel. And that arraignment led to the indefinite detention with which we are struggling today. Anyways, taking you back a few steps, the little military invasion of 2017 was not unrequited, judicially speaking. I took the matter before two tribunals, or a tribunal and a court. First, I took it to the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, which rendered a decision in March 2018 condemning the action and calling it a violation of the African Charter. And they wrote to the President of Nigeria, they wrote a letter to the President of Nigeria requesting him or directing him. They used diplomatic language, but the decision was there that what you did is wrong. So you need to roll it back. You need to reverse everything you have done, which includes declaration of IPOB as a terrorist organization and hounding their members as criminals. The African Commission held that what Nigerian government was doing was persecution, not prosecution. That the IPOB and its members simply possess an inconvenient political opinion which the Nigerian government was seeking to suppress by means of punishment of some sort. And they asked or directed Nigerian government to reverse itself. Nigerian government never did. Rather, it escalated. Well, subsequently, I went to a local court, a high court in Abia State in eastern Nigeria. I sued the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Nigerian Army, and other parties who were confederates in that attack of September 2017. And in January 2022, fortunately for us, we won. The High Court made an order. The High Court reached a judgment that what happened to Nnamdi Kanu in September 2017 was a flagrant violation of his constitutional right to life and constitutional right to his privacy. And the court proceeded to make an order ordering the federal government of Nigeria or Federal Republic of Nigeria to pay him a compensation of 1 billion Nigerian naira, which is over $1 million US. The court also ordered the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the President of Nigeria to issue a public apology to be published in 3 national Nigerian newspapers to Nnamdi Kanu. None of this has happened. So we kept that aside. So when they brought Nnamdi Kanu forcibly from Kenya without extradition proceedings, I characterized it an act of extraordinary rendition. Initially, there was a misunderstanding, a broad, widespread misunderstanding by vast majorities of Nigerians who were mouthing the cliche, Nnamdi Kanu extradited from Kenya. No, that was wrong. It wasn't. I told people it wasn't. It was extraordinarily renditioned or rendered, and that is against international law, Kenyan law, and laws of the Federation of Nigeria. So while his criminal trial was making its way slowly at Abuja, with all the several amendments the government was bringing, they walked away from treasonable felony, insulting the president, importation of radio equipment, and bam, to terrorism. That's how it happened. And they did this 7 times. 7 amendments. If Nnamdi Kanu was guilty, why is it taking so long to bring him to trial between 2015 and today? That is 8 years. So what he's undergoing is not really a judicial trial. It's a trial by ordeal. Trial by fire. Imprisonment before conviction. They just want to get as many years of jail time out of him as possible because they know that with the evidence available, conviction will be impossible. And that was made worse by the extraordinary rendition, which I took also as a civil violation to a federal high court in Nigeria. And in October 2022, the Federal High Court came down with a judgment that extraordinary rendition was a violation of his constitutional rights, his fundamental rights, and they awarded him 500 million Nigerian naira. That's about $800,000. So all around, everywhere that this matter has gone to, including in July.
Shalom, friend. Today I wanted to give you a wonderful
2022, before the Human Rights Council at the United Nations. The Human Rights Council, United Nations, came down with an opinion that what happened to Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya and that brought him to Nigeria is a very grave violation of international law. And they directed that he should be released unconditionally. And of course, the Court of Appeal in Nigeria did come down with a similar judgment. In same October 2022, discharging Nnamdi Kanu of all charges and bearing any further trial of his person in any court in Nigeria as a consequence, as a direct consequence of the extraordinary rendition. So what more can you ask for a man to deserve his freedom? How many have I counted? United Nations, which in this case should be considered a world court. Then you have the Nigerian Court of Appeal, which is the second highest court in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Then you have the Federal High Court, which is the court of first instance at the federal level. And of course, you have the State High Court that awarded him 1 billion Nigerian naira. So between 2015 and today, 8 years and running, Nnamdi Kanu has snagged 4 major victories against the Federal Republic of Nigeria, with Federal Republic of Nigeria winning nothing. What more do you need as stark evidence affirmative evidence that what is happening here, ladies and gentlemen, is an act of persecution, not prosecution. It's time to end it. On his behalf, I will ask all men and women of goodwill everywhere in the world to speak up. There was this saying about Jews. When they came for the Jew, you said nothing. When they came for the Jew, you said nothing because you're a trade unionist. Then when they came for the trade unionist, you said, well, I'm a scientist. You said nothing. They took the Jew, they took the trade unionist. And then when they came for the scientists, nobody spoke for you. Nnamdi Kanu is a poster boy for all the injustices that a great race, the Igbo people, and their cousins in the former eastern Nigeria have been subjected to since the founding of Nigeria. These injustices became more public because since 2015 they have been escalated. So how do you fight back? You fight back by telling the system, I want out. I want my own country is not a crime. It does not require a bullet. It doesn't require muscular military law enforcement. What it requires is sitting across the table and talking about it. A lot of nations have been founded on referendum. That's what Nnamdi Kanu and the Indigenous people of Biafra were asking for. That led to all this conundrum, to all this saga.
I'd like to appreciate the lead counsel there, Aloy Ejimako, spoke for 18 minutes, 11 seconds, asking every single one of us, which is exactly what I am doing on my own part this morning, to make sure that we continue to highlight, the danger of keeping Nnamdi Kanu in the custody of the DSS going to almost 8 years today. As we continue with the program this morning, like I said, the question is, who does not want the division or the breakup, the de-amalgamation of this contraction known as Nigeria? We have told you continuously, whether it is prophecies that are speaking, whether it is just the average Nigerian that is asking questions surrounding this fraudulent amalgamation. As we say all the time, you will never compare Nnamdi Kanu as a terrorist. If anyone, including any Yoruba, say is a terrorist, I can tell you they are born bastard. It's as simple as that. These are the Yoruba who knows. Igbowo would never call Nnamdi Kanu a terrorist. And even as much as many Igbos might not agree with Igbowo being released, because to them it looks like Igbowo was freed by Tinubu. And I've stated this clearly, very, very clearly, that Igbowo was not released by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Igbowo was released by President Patrick Talon after Igbowo's mother died. And Igbowo's mother sacrificed for that. So let us continue to say that to many that believe that it is due to the fact that Tinubu is the current president, and that is the reason why he was released. So that is not. I will be taking you to some of how Igbowo spoke out himself for the injustice, on Nnamdi Kanu, and as almost every day that we have conversation, myself and him, he is still a very concerned, man about the detention of Nnamdi Kanu, in as much as he has regained his freedom. But let me say that his freedom, as much as he has regained it, he still cannot come back to Nigeria. All his bank account is still being freezed by the current government, because whatever is happening in Nigeria today, which Buhari handed over to Tinubu, Igbowo's case is still also. Igbowo has won many court cases as well, just like Nnamdi Kanu has done. But because Nigeria does not respect any laws, not the international law, not the local law, And that literally means that Igboho is still, one way or the other, fighting for his own justice so that he can become as much free in his own father's land. But yesterday, I'm going to play how Igboho told us. This was sometime, if I'm right, in last year, when Igboho was saying to President Bola Tinubu, just like Aloy Jimako is saying, that bullet is not needed to solve the problem of Nigeria. Nobody wants to go to war. Nobody's fighting the government. Asking for self-determination, like we've said enough of the time, is an inalienable right. So let me take you to that video where Igboho, in just about 24 seconds, asked that, let's Nnamdi Kanu go. He hasn't done anything. And I can tell you that yesterday, another terrorist popped up saying that the people behind their, what we called these kidnapping and terrorism has got to do with the Minister for Defense. I didn't say that. That is exactly what came up from one of the Fulani terrorists, kingpin in Nigeria, creating more havoc to not just Nigerians, but to those international community. And that's why we said to the international community, this is not the time to fold your hands up. You would end up having as many terrorists in your country in the near future if you continue to allow Nigeria to exist. But who does not want the breakup of Nigeria? This is what Igboho said about a year ago.
Release Nnamdi Kanu. Stop politics. This guy didn't do anything. Today is 27 February 2024. Release him. Let him go and stay with his family. This guy just fights for his people in the southeast. Like me, I'm fighting for my people in the Yoruba land. Release him. Let him go. Stop politics game. Release Kanu. Let him go home. Please, release him. Release Nnamdi Kanu. Stop politics. This guy didn't do anything. Today is 27 February 2024. Release him. Let him go and stay with his family. This guy just fights for his people in the southeast. Like me, I'm fighting for my people in the Yoruba land. Release him. Let him go. Stop politics game. Release Kanu. Let him go home. Please, release him. Release Nnamdi Kanu. Stop politics.
That was Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho asking the current President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to release Nnamdi Kanu and let him go and stop playing politics with the life of this particular gentleman. You might not find him as a gentleman, but as far as we know, Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist. But let me quickly add this video of a terrorist coming out in a video again in Nigeria, saying it clearly that the whole terrorism happening today in Nigeria is still because they are being given a full support by their own Minister for Defense. Let's listen to this first. We played this particular professor, can't remember his name now, but I picked up this from one of the Biafra media this morning. Let's listen to this, then we'll go and listen to the Fulani terrorists telling us how they are getting support. We've said it so many times. The late Dr. Malafia warned us that it is just a child's play what has happened in the past. What is about to happen now and in the future, many Nigerians will die, not because of Biafra, not because of Yoruba, not because of the Ijaw, not because of the Hausa. Most of you will die in Nigeria because of the ongoing criminal Fulani terrorist insurgency across. And the most reason why you will die is because you will not be able to get back to your farm where you will have enough food to eat. That starvation will kill many of you, just as the Biafra war was taking place in '67 when Britain decided to use that same method to kill as many people in starvation and hunger.
The Biafran War was one of the most brutal and bloody conflicts of modern times. Also known as the Nigerian Civil War, it left 1 million dead and millions more displaced. It also shaped so much of our thinking on secession and independence. And yet today, it's largely forgotten. So what was the conflict all about? And why was it so especially significant? The British decision in the early 20th century to merge the two Nigerian protectorates, a decision taken for economic reasons, created an entity that was fundamentally at odds with itself. This would eventually have dramatic and tragic consequences following the country's independence in 1960. The tensions between North and South soon spilled over into the political arena, leading to mass killings and one of the most significant wars to affect modern Africa. Indeed, the Biafran War was widely regarded as the most pressing humanitarian disaster of its day. Over the course of 2.5 years, millions died in a conflict that led to mass starvation.
Well, you've just listened to, I believe that Professor Lindsay or something, we've listened to many of his very beautiful video that he has done in the past. But that is not where we're going this morning. Many of you might not know this particular man. This man that I'm showing you the face right in front of my screen is the current Minister for Defense. And already, one of the notorious terrorists known as Tuji Bello released a new video saying stately in that video that they are getting all their support from this particular dumb bastard, another Fulani man. But many of us might probably have forgotten. Who is this man? His name is Matawale. Matawale is Bello Matawale is a Nigerian politician. They are always politicians, but behind the scene, in the middle of the night, they are monsters. If Tinubu leaves power, Yoruba people, you will die in Nigeria more, because these are the people that are just waiting, calculating, doing whatever Tinubu is allowing them to do right now, but knowing fully far that Tinubu will go, just like Jonathan left, just like Buhari left, and they will complete their mission and vision for you bastard that doesn't want to accept the breakup of Nigeria today. Many of you will die. I will not pity you. I am 3,000 miles away, like I always say. It will be very difficult for me to die in that country if I am not there. Doesn't mean that death cannot happen to anybody. But for us to avoid the death today, why should we allow this dumb bastard Bello Matawale, who is a criminal, supporting and manipulating us to believe that they are defending Nigeria, even though we have seen the sabotage within the military? He is currently, let's give you a bit of his background as we have it, because many of you Nigerians, especially the Yoruba idiot that we are talking to, think that Tinubu can hold us backwards. Tinubu is only there for a very, very limited time. And like I said, and I'm repeating it again, there is very, very concrete evidence that Tinubu will be killed by the current system known as the former Hold Babangida and the rest of them. They are planning to make sure that Tinubu can be killed and Shetima becomes the president, and they can hold on to the power as quickly as possible, because they're a little bit worried that maybe Tinubu might just, and I'm not saying fully, might just go in a different direction because he might not listen to them like Buhari was doing. So killing Tinubu will be a benefit for them, and Shetima will take power, and Shetima will take order from Sultan of Sokoto. Matawale Bello, popularly known as Bello Matawale, is a Nigerian politician and a teacher who has served as the Minister of the State of Defense since 2023. He previously served as the governor of Zamfara State. Now everything is adding up. Let me give you a full image of who we are talking about. Remember this video very well that I'm going to play right now. And many of us need to wake up, especially you idiot Yoruba people that are on the social media. Rather than us tackling the biggest threat to our life today, we are there fighting some stupidity. Yes, we know that the Igbos might have the intention to take Lagos State. They want to take the Southwest. Come out of Nigeria and let them come and try that nonsense. I cannot take over this country. This country does not belong to me. And I'm going to show you today that the Irish are warning every foreigners in their land that you will all face a blunt consequences within the next 10 years. They're careless about the government. An Englishman told me on Friday, just 2 days ago, that there will be civil war in this country. And I know what that means is to target us. Especially if you think you hold a British passport. Well, the British passport, as far as I'm concerned, is as useless as tissue paper if Nnamdi is still being held with that same British passport that many of us want to die and live in this country for so many years because we are trying to regularize our papers. Let us go and fight our own and defend the Yoruba land against the Igbos. They are listening to me right now that wants to take our land if that is their intention. And I've said it clearly that we will fight them back if that is their intention. But the intention of you staying in Nigeria today means that they have every right to move according to the constitution of that bloody nonsense country and we are calling Nigeria. So let me add this video, because this video is now making sense when this man was telling us, because we know that Bello Matawali was a governor before. So was he the same person that this man was telling us? But because we are Nigerians, stupid people, all we do is moan. Go and watch Big Brother where they are showing their bottoms and their breasts and their penis, while we are talking about the real deal. While the protest that is about to start, we are not endorsing the protest. That is almost coincident with when the BB Nigeria will start. I won't be surprised that those bomb bastards that want to go out on protest will end up watching BB Brother rather than be on the street and fighting for their rights. Self-determination is an inalienable right, and this is how they killed the late Malafia. May so continue to rest in peace. Listen to this.
Which is it for you, Dr. Obadiah? Do you think the government is unwilling or unable to protect the people of Southern Kaduna?
In fact, it is not only unable, it is unwilling, and we have good reason to feel that they are part and parcel of the killers. Let me make some revelations to you.
That's a very big allegation, Dr. Obadiah. The government is part and parcel of the killers.
Yes.
That's big.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, how would the government just say, oh, it is revenge killing and so on? Then you leave it there. Oh, because it is revenge killing and so on and so forth. The body language of this administration, the body language of the state government shows clearly that they have a hand in the killings. No doubt about it. Because, you see, General Abacha, and people don't give him his due. Do you think you would have tolerated such nonsense? And let me make some revelations, because some of us also have our own intelligence networks.
Okay.
Have met with some of the bandits. We have met with some of their high commanders. One or two who have repented. They have sat down with us, not once, not twice. They told us that one of the northern governors is the commander of Boko Haram in Nigeria. Boko Haram and the bandits are one and the same thing. They have a sophisticated network. During this lockdown, their planes were moving up and down as though there was no lockdown. Moving ammunitions, moving logistics, moving money, and distributing them in different parts of the country. They're already in the south, in the rainforest of the south. They're everywhere. They told us that when they finish these rural killings, they will move to phase 2. The phase 2 is they will go into the urban cities, going from house to house, killing prominent people. I can tell you, this is the game plan. By 2022, they want to start a civil war in Nigeria.
But our historic memory includes the notion that your greatest days were under Ivan, Peter the Great, and Catherine the Great. In other words, when you could control your neighbors. And people don't want to be controlled anymore. They want to be free to chart their own course. I'll never forget the first time a man with impeccable military credentials, the warden of Rhodes House, who was Admiral of Viscount Montgomery's aide de camp in World War II, said, you know, you're going to have to leave Vietnam. For the same reason we had to leave Nigeria. We left Nigeria. There was a horrible war. 3 million people died. But we had to go, and you're going to have to go. And I said, why? He said, because they don't want you. You know, people.
And that was Bill Clinton. They had to leave the Biafra war just like they left the Vietnam. So now, let me take you back again and give you a bit of background of this criminal man known as Bello Muhammad, popularly known as Bello Matawali. He's a Nigerian politician, a teacher who served as the current minister of the State of Defense since 2023 under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has previously served as the governor of Zamfara State, where we now know that he is the sponsor of Boko Haram. He was born on the 12th of February 1969. He's only 55 years old, so he's a little bit younger than whatever age Tinubu is using. He's part of the member of the All Progressive Congress. And like I said, these are just the individuals that are waiting patiently for when Tinubu will complete his tenure, and then they can hijack the government. But before we go into that, maybe we should listen to Julian Assange. Julian Assange, another truth sayer that was held in UK for many years. He has been able to get his freedom after so many years in detention. And he posted this 17 hours ago on WikiLeaks. Democracy are always lied into war. So Nigeria democracy is leading everybody into war. We are already at war. Whether it's hunger war, whatever war we are right now, the only way we can slow it down is to get the hell out of Nigeria as quickly as possible, because Nigeria is not meant for any one of us. Nigeria is a crime scene, and it will remain so as a crime scene. So if anybody is telling you that we should save Nigeria, tell them, who are you saving Nigeria for? Because we know that Nigeria is not meant for us. So Julian Assange, 17 hours ago, said, and I quote, democracy are always lied into the war. So as we always say all the time, let us remember that we can only save ourselves. It is not just lies by intelligent analysts. They will sit down on the screen, tapatopo, they'll be speaking big grammar. It's all crime. When you start listening to those criminal bastard Yoruba, Igbos, Hausa that are coming on the TV and telling you, oh, we will save Nigeria. I told you Dele Mamodu yesterday. He's telling us the Nigerian economy is dead. He needs to be telling us that Nigeria is dead, not the Nigerian economy. He was part of the people that continue to promote these bomb bastard criminals. He promoted Buhari, even though he said after 2 months he pulled out. He's now talking about Tinubu's government, but he never told us how Jonathan and Obasanjo and Yaradua, all these criminals that were running the government for 16 years, sucked everybody dry. So there's no difference between every single one of them. They are all bomb bastard politicians. So we expect our brother, Uncle Dele Mamodu Bobi of Ovation, to come out and use his platform. But he doesn't want to use it because he doesn't want to allow his platform like mine, so that he will lose all the preferences and probably the free visa, the free money coming from left and right. We know how this thing works. Because when you are rolling around with all these people, sometimes 5 million there, 10 million there, 1 million there, you cover their event. So if you start talking about them, they're not going to call you. So that is exactly why Dele Momodu is not using his platform, even though we know he's in support of Yoruba Nation. He visited Igboho while he was in the Benin Republic, when he was held in reason for why Boko Haram terrorists called Buhari wanted to hold him there and hopefully bring him back like they did in the rendition back to Nigeria, because they would have done the same thing. I was en route coming back to London while Igboho was making his way back to Germany, and he called me that he has now, or his wife rather, has been detained and he's going back into the airport. I told him not to, but like I said, the rest is history. For over 2 years as well, we were fighting, but it seems that since Benin Republic, a small country, President Patrick Talon understand that Buhari was just another criminal that wanted to use Igboho as a scapegoat. Because what they are doing right now is they are using Nnamdi Kanu as a scapegoat. So Talon has faced something similar to what Igboho was going through, looked at all the files, even though the DSS criminals and all their government officials could not. Remember, Buratai was the ambassador as at the time. So around that period, we now know that Igboho was never a criminal. He never committed a crime. He has not committed a crime even up to date. But rather than the government to understand that they wanted to kidnap him back from Benin Republic. An helicopter was sent, but we thank our father, Professor Banji Akintoye, at the middle of the night, stopped that helicopter from even landing in Benin Republic. Igboho would have been in the same prison probably with Nnamdi Kanu, and some bastard Yoruba people will probably be excited, just like some bastard Igbo people are happy that Nnamdi Kanu remains in the DSS custody, while terrorists continue to kill many of you. Now you are asking for the Biafra Liberation Army to come and save your house because the terrorist government cannot do so. So let me play Julian Assange quickly from what he said. Democracy are always lied into war. We saw how Tony Blair lied that the Saddam Hussein had a chemical weapon. If you shoot it right now, within 30 seconds, everybody will die. All those was lies. We saw how they were using big camera. I'm using my mobile phone here in this house. They were using big camera to project it. We all came out protest against it, and we know what end up. Iraq is not stable. Libya is not stable. And what we are now saying is, don't allow them to use Africa as another scapegoat for their war. If they want to fight with Russia, let them kill themselves. Leave us alone. We don't want to be in that war. We are not interested in war. We just want to live lives and enjoy life. And don't come and tell me about heaven. Enjoy life here before you talk about heaven. So let's listen to Julian Assange. Then we'll go and play that video of a new video released by Tuji Bello, a terrorist, saying that you guys doesn't know what is happening. Matawali is our sponsor. He has been giving us weapons to kill many of you. And if you don't believe that, let's even play this to back that up.
Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
And that's exactly what has been happening. But this idiot, another Yoruba idiot, that is a criminal, he was a lawyer in America. He was a defrauder. He was a working lawyer that took money that doesn't belong to him to go and do politics in Nigeria. Another bomb bastard Yoruba criminal calling himself. Let's listen to what he had to say. I'm sure some of you will recognize his voice. If you don't recognize the voice, don't worry. I'll give you his name for those of you that are not watching this program through my software that are just listening to us. Let's listen to another bomb bastard Yoruba man, a criminal that stole from Americans, returned back to Nigeria. He said something will happen because that is the thinking that Allah will come and save every one of us.
The weight of Nigeria is not the weight that any normal, ordinary human being can carry, except with the help of Almighty Allah. It is evident, therefore, that the Almighty Allah is with our president. He is carrying the weight for him. The weight of Nigeria is not the weight that any normal, ordinary human being can carry, except with the help of Almighty Allah. It is evident, therefore, that the Almighty Allah is with our president. He is carrying the weight for him.
And that is Femi Gbajabiamila. He's a criminal. He was working as a lawyer then in America. Took advantage of a money. I mean, I got an insurance money because I was involved in a motor accident. And imagine my lawyer take my money that is meant for me and return back to Nigeria. That is exactly what Femi Gbajabiamila is, a criminal. He did in America, left to Nigeria like many of them, just like Abiodun, another credit card fraudster, just like criminal Tinubu himself. A drug money was paid in his account while he was in America. All these criminals are the one managing your affairs. But let's listen to WikiLeaks' Julian Assange.
The internet has become the most important device for revealing the truth, at least since the beginning of the printing press. It has become the #1 antidote to TV. Democracies are always lied into war. The Iraq War was a result of lies. The increase in involvement in the United States in Vietnam was a result of the Gulf of Tonkin incident, another lie. It's not just lies by intelligence analysts, it's lies by the big media machine. And what is in the big media machine? Well, it's the various institutions that get too comfortable and too close to the table of power, the very table that they are meant to be reporting on and policing and getting into the historic record. Now, working against that trend and against that current of corrupt, powerful organisations producing a distorted perspective of the world has been the internet. For the first time in history, that has allowed one person with some truth to speak to every single person who wants to hear that truth.
You heard him well. So while we are here, somebody will say, hey, which truth are you talking about? Go and be listening to BBC, Bias Broadcasting Corporation. Go and listen to Fox News and listen to NBC and the Sky News. Maybe they will give you the truth that you're looking for. Or go to your church this morning where Baba G.O. Adeboye does not know that many Nigerians are dying of hunger, and rather than him attacking back the government for hunger in the land, he has kept his mouth shut. Just like all the affairs, all the traditionalists. But some are speaking out against the injustice perpetrated by this bastard government presently. As we know, this is the video that I want to show you because there's still so much to discuss in this Sunday broadcast. Once again, my name is Oluwole Koiki. We will continue to give you as it is because the only way out is to break away from Nigeria, dissolve Nigeria. If you think that you can save Nigeria, you are saving Nigeria for the British, that you will never get a visa. I can assure you that. Save Nigeria. You might say, I don't want to come to England. That is fine. You will die in Nigeria because your currency continues to depreciate on a daily basis. Now, this is the bastard criminals. They have the infantry to carry weapons. We haven't carried weapons yet. We don't want to carry weapons, but don't think that we can't. Nobody has monopoly to violence. If the terrorists are carrying weapons, we also have the right to carry weapons. And whatever weapons we carry, we will use that to protect our land and defend our territorial ground. Nobody can stop that. That is not a crime. So the one you are watching, for those of you watching me on my screen, some few years back was that video. The one I'm about to show you now is another latest one released. It's like they are releasing audio and videos to say to us that you think we are joking, we are coming for every single one of you. We will kill you, we will take your land. But most of you are more concerned about the Igbos taking Lagos State. Lagos that is already gone under the water. Bastard people all over the place. My name is Oluwole Koiki. So let's watch this video. I don't understand the language they are speaking, but the video is saying that defense minister is the one backing terrorism. If you understand Hausa, you can help us to start translating it inside the comment section. And if you come on this platform and defend Nigeria and your politician, I will curse you, I will curse your father and your mother because you are one of those bomb bastards as well. We are not defending the Igbos here, but we are saying let everybody go their separate ways so that we can deal with them with our constitution. If they don't respect our constitution, they will be chucked out of our country. Just like the Irish is saying to us, go and prepare. We will chuck every one of you out in the next 10 years. My name is Oluwole Koiki, popularly known as Koiki Media. Again, I'm mute my mic. It's 4 minutes 41 seconds. Like I said, remember that we're broadcasting from home. My children are beautiful children. Their voices coming to the broadcast is indicating that we are a family man. If you're not happy with that, you can back out of this platform. Once again, appreciation to many of you that have joined us. And like I said, we wanted this broadcast to be in English because I'm not communicating to Yoruba people alone. I'm communicating to all Nigerians that are still stupid, hoping that they can save Nigeria. Save Nigeria for your house.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala da ya kawo a wannan shekara ta 2024 cikin watan Julai mun fita 18 gare shi sunana Muhammadu Bello Turji na fitar da wannan sanarwa domin ya kai duk kunnen dan Najeriya da wanda da shugaba da talaka duk ya kai kunnen kowa. Sako ne zan ba ku 'yan Najeriya saboda haka matsalar tsaro da muke fama da ita ina mai tabbatar muku wannan abun gwamnati ta so kuma ita ta tsare mu ta'addanci gindi mi a hujja ta mi a dalili gwamnatin Zamfara wadda ta kau ta gwamna excellency Matawallan Maradon duk wanda aka faɗi haka ya san kowa an Matawallan
at least if we no understand anything wey dem don dey talk for the last how many minutes now, we just add Bello Matawali. Is there another Bello Matawali that they call Zamfara? So even if you don't understand Hausa or the Fulani or Fudi, the way that they talk, you can just add it together. They're talking about one person, Bello Matawali and Zamfara with the people. And you can see them fully armed. These ones are not even carrying any more AK-47. They are carrying RPG that can shut down that aircraft that you think that they cannot bring down. I pity a lot of you that are traveling and thinking that you don't want Yoruba nation, you don't want Biafra nation, Arewa nation, Ijaw nation. One day, those aircraft will be brought down. Don't tell me it cannot happen. We saw how Ibadan was bombed. And yet, Yoruba people have not asked the bastard governor Seyi Makinde 6 months, where are those that should be in the prison? Where is the court ongoing cases? But rather, they will rather attack innocent people in the state. 6 months after the bomb attack in Ibadan, we have not been given a closure to that. But who cares? At least we are so many, so if many people die, the rest will continue to suffer. No, we do not want that. So what you're watching right now is a Fulani terrorist, fully armed to teeth, coming out and saying that they have continued to say to us, but because we don't believe, we saw helicopter landing with weapons and food in the forest. But people will always defend them, because rather than us talking on one condition, let us pull away from Nigeria so that all this can stop. Technology can blow them from a far distance. But yet, they killed Tolulope Arotile because that was what she was good at. She was just less than 25 years old. Some of you think that your vision and your dreams of Nigeria, she was trained by Nigeria government. She was trained by the Nigerian government before the Fulani one came in and said, hey, no, we are not going to allow this one to be going up there and start. And they say somebody drove behind her. Tolulope Arotile eventually died right inside Nigeria. Right inside one of the most secure places in their bastard country they call Nigeria. And today, how many more Nigerians will die if we continue to believe in one Nigeria? And bad governance is not the issue. And Nigeria should be the hashtag. Let everybody go back. But because you are thinking that when we get that country, you will continue that your criminality, that cannot happen in any of these nations that is about to be brought in. Because most of you are just waiting for your turn. Na turn by turn, no. Na jagaban turn, no. Turn by turn, no. Everybody's waiting for their turn. Criminal bastard Nigerians. Rather than us say that we want to end Nigeria, they want to end bad governance and go and bring Peter Obi. You know, go better for Peter Obi. We show you the new power. Turn bastard. What has he done when he was in Anambra State? Well, it looks like Tinubu is going to arrest him. Let the spark happen. We are waiting. There was just one spark that happened. The whole world was shut down because of the crowd strike. Igboho remains the antivirus, while Nnamdi Kanu also remains the antivirus. And we are going to neutralize all the virus on our land, whether you like it or not. Don't bastard. Let's go back and listen to this criminal, fully armed. They are in Nigeria. They are not in a jail. They are still in Nigeria with this weapon, but the bastard DSS cannot go and look for them, but they are looking for the people that wants to go and protest. It is your right to protest. We are not endorsing it, but I will be here watching. And remember, you might be killed. Don't give up. 15 people have died in Bangladesh as I speak to you right now. They are still out there demanding their right. Don't hear one pa 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 and everybody run home. No, stand your ground and respect 1, 3, 5 people that will be killed. It's normal, especially in a crazy continent like Africa and some country that doesn't respect human rights. So if you're thinking that you're going out to protest and you're not prepared for some of you to be killed, you're wasting your time. And if they get killed, do whatever needs to be done. I don't give a toss. I am just waiting for that spark. Let's go back and listen to this bastard. I might open the phone line for the next 25 minutes when we will go into the last hour. We've done 1 hour, 35 minutes. My name is Oluwole Koiki. And once again, I will also open the Twitter space. If you come in, please respect my platform. I will allow you to speak. But if you're telling me about one Nigeria, I might disconnect you. I'm not interested in one Nigeria. Nigeria is a bastard country that the British created, and they're the only one enjoying it. That is why white people, my mom doesn't like me to use that word, so I'll use Oyibo people, are more preference to you bastard Nigerians than you, the citizen. Let Oyibo man land at the Muritala Mohammed Airport. They'll rather not even search him. But you, the Nigerian, coming with your passport, they'll be asking you where you're coming from. Idiot all over the place.
A saboda haka abin da ya sa muka zargin sun ɗarme mata'addanci gindi yanzu a dubi akwai wasu mutane duk wani ɗan ƙaramar hukumar mulkin shinkafi da zurmi da isa bai isa ya ƙaryata wannan bidiyon ba kuma bai isa ya ƙaryata mu ba. Akwai wasu mutane duk wani wanda ko da ɗan Najeriya shi wanda a can kama kana Bauchi baka san matsala ba, kana Kaduna baka san matsalar Zamfara ba. To muna tabbatar ma da gwamnatin tarayya ita in bata sani ba. Akwai mutane zan ba da shaida da hujja da dalili da takamaiman magana wadda duk mai hankali ya je ya karanta ko kuma ya je ya binciki tarihin waɗannan mutane. Kuma inga aka je aka yi magana da su a ba mu wannan wuri ko a ba mu mina ne ko a ce muna mina ne to mu mun fito shi matsayina na ɗan ƙasa ga na fito tsakanina da Allah na gai gaskiya. Gwamnatin Zamfaro da ta gaba da ta Matawalle ita ta ɗarbe makarya gidi. An yi sulhu na farko da ita to abinda a sa sulhun ta ki zamnawa. Kowa ya sani, ni na sani duk al'ummar da a jihar Zamfara shinkafi da zurmi da isa sun san da wannan matsalar. Akwai wani mutum ana ce mashi marigayi dudu, ni fatattake su don su hana shinkafa ta zamna lahiya. Suna da bindiga sama da bindiga 200, Matawalle ya ɗauke su ya kai su gidan gwamnati. In ƙarya ne suna gidan gwamnati har yanzu, in gobe in ƙan gaskiya ne suna gidan gwamnati har yanzu. Da muka kashe dullu, Kabiru Maniya, a faɗa mana inga gwamnatin Zamfara ko ta Sokoto ko ta tarayya ta je ta yi sulhu da shi ya bada makaman shi, a gaya mana wurin. To tun da babu wurin ko Bashari Maniya a gaya mana in ga bada bindigogin shi ga gwamnati. A fito a faɗi wagga magana ina sun ka bada su. Kowa ya san suna da bindiga sama da 300 ni na ɗauki bindiga 30 gare su. A fito a faɗi wagga gaskiya abin da ke tafiya. Yanzu ga sunan su cikin Sokoto irin abin da su Murtala Asada ka faɗi su ce su turus zambirni mina ne to wannan magana gaskiya ne ba wai ƙarya bane akwai turus zambirni. Yanzu abin da muke maku nuhi da akwai turus zambirni. Yanzu
You've listened to these criminals. They are enjoying life with nobody disturbing them. Nobody go and harass them. Nobody is invading them. Nobody is killing them. But is this a business or is there more to it? Let's listen to this.
We can say now banditry is an industry in Zamfara State. Last month, we arrested a member of the State House of Assembly in banditry here in Zamfara State. We arrested a district head we also as well arrested a former local government chairman. So you can see that involvement of this class of people in banditry is more making the situation to become more and more complex. So in essence, I can say that all caliber of people now are involved. All manner of people are involved in this banditry. More alarming and more disturbing is the involvement of a district head in supplying drugs to the bandits.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for your time tonight. My question earlier is that are there political motivation for the rise of banditry in the the northwestern region of the country? Who are those that are backing or supporting or fueling banditry in the region? Your Excellency, can you hear me?
Yes, please, can you repeat yourself?
All right, so I'm saying that my question is, who are there those who are backing and politically motivating banditry in the northwestern region?
Thank you very much. There are so many insinuations as to what causes the banditry in our region. But to me, and to my understanding, and from the little knowledge I have, being the governor of the state for almost a year now, I understand that the issue of the hypothesis behind political motives about banditry is not true. I think purely what causes banditry in our place, the root cause of it was injustice. There were a lot of injustices that were done on the planet, which causes this problem to spring over time. This thing has been with us for a very long time, and it has started small, and it has grown big now. And then there are some collaborators from the houses who are staying within the towns, who are serving as the providers of logistics to those bandits. But the issue of the hypothesis behind there is some foreigners involved, there are some people from the foreign land that are coming to inflict this thing on our people is purely a political statement by some people who just want to use that as a political goal to them. In the issue of security, then secondly, what also causes the recruitment under the logistic services for the bandit was as a result of poverty. Because surprisingly, with 2,000, 5,500 naira, you can be able to convince some of the youth to join into this exercise, which brings about money. And now it has turned out to be a business venture for the criminals, and the business venture for also some people who are in government, and some people who are in the security outfit, and some people who are being responsible for day-to-day activities of their people. Because these are so many reasons why that this banditry were unable to bring an end to it. Because you may not know who among those people that are surrounding you. It may be your driver, it may be your houseboy, it may be your blood brother, it may be your father, it may be your younger brother. So it can be anybody. Because we have caught so many people who are saddled with responsibility for people involved in this criminality. So this is something that is making it very...
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for your time tonight.
Well, you've listened to all these criminal governors in the north that think that, they can allow us to remain in one Nigeria. Some of them, their state doesn't produce jack shit. Some of them, they are just like a lynch. They are lynching us. They lynch on us. So you must remove it. And sometimes, if that part is disturbing you, maybe sometimes we have to cut it. We need to cut that arms that wants to hold and pull every one of us down. We play one more, and then, like I said, if you want to join us, the number to call is +44 74 044 05917. You can call in if you want to speak in Yoruba. I will do a translation because, like I said this morning, I am communicating to many people that are not Yorubas. If you want to join me from the Twitter space, let me know. I will let you in. After 2-3 minutes, I'm going to let you come off. But for now, we are now going into the final part of my discussion this morning. The question I'm asking, and I'm asking again, is who does not want Nigeria to divide? If you can help me to answer that in your own way, I will appreciate. Who are those that doesn't want us to divide? From Yoruba having a country, from Arewa having a country, Ijo people having a country. I didn't even put Ijo properly. I need to edit that. It should be Ijo. I put Jo. It should be Ijo people. Having, people can have independent country. And don't be deceived by the world that, the world is just too big. That doesn't need any more countries. There is still room for every country.
The most important.
There is a lot of room for many countries to be independent country. We are all living underwater. So don't let anybody fool you. So we're going to start bringing people in, like I said, respect my platform and just speak within 2 minutes. So we have the first person that will be joining us in just about a few minutes. But for now, the number for those of you that wants to call in is +44 74 044 05917. I want to play one video that I come across this morning. This is Seun Okinbaloye. There's been a lot of hula around him that whether he has been sacked, we don't know. But before we let that call come true, let's listen to Seun Okinbaloye telling Tinubu about some of the things that a lot of us have also been talking about. And then those calls will come true, and those Twitter handle that wants to join me will also be allowed to. Let's just give me a room. Let's play Seun Okinbaloye, but let me adjust my screen. Let's remove that bastard Makawali. Let me put my people back in Kanu and Igboho behind my scene. I love seeing them the way they are. These are the two actors, and actors must be protected by all means, because in a movie, when the actor is dead, that means the movie is coming to an end. We want to make sure that these two actors, and now come and tell me, Koiki, and I'm not expecting anybody to come after this. Koiki, stop comparing Nnamdi Kanu with Igboho. Shut up. Shut up yourself. Keep that to yourself. Because I know some of my Yoruba people will call me and say, stop comparing Nnamdi Kanu with Igboho. Bear with me for those who want to call. Let's listen to Seun Okinbaloye first. And Seun Okinbaloye is a good friend of mine. And whatever his decision, like I said, I've not been able to confirm, but I believe I saw another professor, I can't remember his name. I know he's with Showore. I can reach out to Showore to confirm whether Seun Okinbaloye is still channels television. If it doesn't matter. Life is not the end. But I am not too sure whether this, what Seun said, is upsetting the presidency. Remember, Tinubu told us he hates social media, but he has just started. We're going to squeeze his balls until he listens to every one of us.
President Senator Bola Tinubu, it is to you tonight that I bring the burden and plight of our people too. I trust this message finds you in good health and high spirits as you continue to navigate the intricate responsibilities that come with the esteemed position you hold. It is with a heavy heart and deep concern that I pass this message on the current state of our beloved nation, Nigeria. In a time when the heartbeat of our nation is racing with fear and the very fabric of our society is tearing at the seams, we stand at a crossroads. President Tinubu, the nation calls for your undivided attention as you embark on a private visit to France. Our beloved Nigeria is grappling with unprecedented challenges that demand urgent and decisive action. Kidnapping and abductions are the order of the day. From Lagos to Kaduna, Taraba, and violent and criminal activities have pervaded our land. Even in the heart of our nation's capital, the audacity of kidnappers has become a sinister reality, striking fear into the hearts of our people. Our citizens are living in constant fear, unsure of their safety and the safety of their loved ones. This is not the Nigeria we dreamed of, not the renewed hope that was promised. We applaud the gallantry of our security operatives, but indeed more work still needs to be done to keep the people safe. Efforts are being made, but it appears they are not far enough. What has become the strategies of state policing and community policing that's been talked about several years, and the huge white papers and advisory notes on how to tackle insecurity in Nigeria, where are they? President Tinubu, as a pro-democracy agitator, isn't it the right time to restructure Nigeria for it to work properly? Is the Nigeria you and your friends fought for, is it the Nigeria that you're talking about? The removal of subsidies has unleashed a tidal wave of economic downturn, leaving families struggling to make ends meet. Prices of commodities have gone through the roof. The biting effects are felt across the nation, and the loss of confidence in the government is palpable. This is not a time for complacency. It is a time for bold, unwavering leadership. Mr. President, I think it is about time to get the nation's eggheads in one room and find a lasting cure to our ailing economy. As you stand on foreign soil, Mr. President, remember the weight of your responsibility to the Nigerian people. Our citizens, including those who voted for you, are losing faith in the government. The implications of the loss of confidence are far-reaching. And as a leader, you cannot afford to look away. Investors are fleeing the nation like never before. Economic potential of Nigeria is being squandered, and the consequences will be felt for generations. We urge you, Mr. President, to take immediate measures to create an environment that attracts and retains investment. The clock is ticking, and our economic future is at stake. Mr. President, the time to act is now. Swift and decisive measures are needed to curb the escalating insecurity, alleviate the economic burden on citizens, and restore the confidence in the government. This is not only a call to fulfill campaign promises, but a plea for the preservation of our great nation. Mr. President, our regional leadership is hanging in the balance. Some members of ECOWAS are signaling exit, and Nigeria's influence is under threat. It is time to reassert your leadership, strengthen diplomatic ties, and secure our place in the Committee of Nations. As journalists, we will not shy away from probing, inspiring, and holding leaders accountable. President Tinubu, live up to the expectations of your calling and the mandate upon which your office stands. The Nigerian people deserve more. They deserve a leader who acts with urgency, integrity, and unwavering commitment to the well-being of our great nation. The challenges may be daunting, but if you are resolute and carry the people along, we can all together overcome. The giant of Africa must now rise and take his rightful place in the Committee of Nations and harness his potentials for the Nigerian people to smile again. God bless this Federal Republic of Nigeria. And this is my final word tonight. Good night, everyone.
It looks like you don't go touch Tinubu Crow. Tinubu is upset now. So we don't know what is happening, but like I say, whatever his decision, those of you calling, I'm going to come back to you. It looks like Tinubu, you know when you are with a woman, they play inside room, they touch that thing, after a while, you just squeeze them hard. That thing will they do you one kind. So let me bring in a few people that have joined us. Those of our call I'm calling Bishop, our regular, because I'm going to give the Bishop enough time. But let me allow those that are on our Twitter space to come in. Mimi Venture, go straight. You have 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, I will stop you. I will not interrupt you. 3 minutes and your time is now. Unmute yourself and go straight on.
Yeah, good morning, Koiki. It's a nice of you coming out loud.
Very clear. We can hear you, sir.
Start from the issue. I'm not too bothered about what that's the rumor they are going on about you. He spoke the truth once, and what you're hearing from them, I'm not really bothered about them because most of them they know the truth, they know what is going on in Nigeria, and because of their profession, because of who is employed them, who is paying them, to hide it now. But I don't know where he touched. I don't know what touch him in that last speech. If it is true, well, he should move on. That's the zone about. Then the topic you put up here, Nnamdi Kanu versus federal government. That is what I'm bothered here. Everyone knows who is behind his detention. You know that all the criminal thief or politicians, they are behind his detention. Nobody will say they don't know that. The politician from the southeast, the politician from the south, the politician from the southwest, both the north. All the politicians gathered together are all being his detention because you cannot rule that out at all. If they want him free, they would have pushed for it. They would have asked the government to listen to the court and push him out their own detention there. Let him go back to his place. So we don't have anything to hide or to patch or to package. They are the one behind his detention. Federal government court has freed him. Why can't they allow him to go? We have to do everything possible. Now, they thought that keeping him will see. One thing I want people to know is that keeping Nnamdi Kanu there will continue to go down. We continue to put down. That don't want to regret man. Bring him out. Let's negotiate with the government next time. The government is trying to realize to come to that, want that government to come to the government to be then why did you kidnap him? Why did you keep him as free? Okay, release him now. You don't want to release him, you keep then why continue the raid after government weaken and destroy the more the longer they will continue to
All right. Thanks so much, Mimi Venture. The line is not very clear, but we got the message. But we appreciate your point there. And the point is that those behind the holding of our brother, a father, a man of the truth. We might not agree with many of what you have said, just like not everybody agree with Igboho as well. Let me go straight to Olori. I'm coming to our callers. Let's clear those on our Twitter space quickly because we appreciate everyone this morning. We are not here holding your views under our platform. but do not disrespect this platform. We are not here promoting Nigeria. We don't want Nigeria. Olori, go ahead and let's hear from you, man. Okay, not too sure whether she can hear me. All right, it looks like your line, I don't know what is happening with it. We can't hear you back here in the studio. Neither can I hear you from those of us listening to us on Sister Space. Let's go to the next person, Ellen Peter. Ellen Peter, let's hear from you. If Olori is back, let me know. Okay, give it and stop disturbing me now, okay? Ellen Peter, go ahead. Olori, maybe you want to go back in and come back. I'm not too sure what is happening with your line. We can't hear you at all. Ellen Peter, go ahead, please. You got 3 minutes. I will not interrupt.
Thank you very much, my brother Koiki. And thank you for your doggedness, standing as the last man standing that is to free his people. I really appreciate your work all the time and listening to you, though I don't understand your language. But I appreciate what you are doing because I know you are still standing strong for the freedom of your people. God bless you and continue to empower you. So, what is going on in Nigeria, my dear? They all know what is going on. That the Arab world is using these terrorists to capture Nigeria. They know this. I'm not saying Nnamdi Kanu, according to your topic now that Nigeria versus Nnamdi Kanu. You understand? Nnamdi Kanu knew all this and he started shouting. At first, I was not in support with this man. Like 2019 back, I was not in support until I began to listen to his broadcast. And I saw that everything he's saying is coming very fast. You understand? He was saying it that these people they are coming, we should protect our people, and everybody was like, where is this man coming from? What is he really saying? Nobody believed him. You understand? So all this that is going on now, Nigeria and Nigerian people that call themselves Nigerian people, they should know that Afghanistan is about to happen in Nigeria. The terrorists will capture Nigeria if Nigeria did not break. If Nigeria did not break, the terrorists are coming to capture Nigeria. They are already there. And it is plain now. They are bold enough to come out now and be telling people who are behind them. And you can see that the whole of the media, they are silent. And this is an Igbo man or probably a Yoruba man that they confess with their sponsor. By now they will have been showcasing it everywhere. But they are silent anytime they measure anybody that is sponsoring them, nobody will talk. Nigeria is now very comfortable with the terrorists that are killing them. They are comfortable with those who have thrown hunger onto the country. They are comfortable with them. There is hunger everywhere today because the farmers have been killed. Not only that they have been killed, they can no longer access their farm. They can no longer access their farm. And Nigeria is comfortable with them. Meanwhile, chasing after freedom fighters who say they will not allow this atrocity to befall their people, that they want to go. You understand? So what is playing in Nigeria, the Western world that has silent now should know that it's going to befall them tomorrow. What is playing in Nigeria? Because the Arab world is going to come, if they capture Nigeria, they are going to use their resources to launch attack against the Western world. This they did not know. They don't know this. They are all what they want is the resources that they can use to launch attack against them. I wish our Prime Minister is fighting hard now to make sure we break away and protect our resources. You understand what is going on?
Yeah.
So this is the reason why the Fulani don't want to forgive Martin Africano. They said it. They went after him because he knows too much of their plan. They did not know how manage it. He knew all this and he's exposing every of their plan. And that word that my doctor said that will have happened in 2022, it did not come up because everybody now know what to come. And we were all shouting. They brought Ruga and we rejected it. Whatever they brought, we were all defensive. Do you understand? Yeah. So this is why that war did not come up so fully. But they are doing it at the backyard. Killing people in their villages, ransacking and take over villages. You understand? So the war is not going secretly, and our people are not aware of it. I pity everyone that call itself a Nigeria that by now they are not able to take a stand that we are indigenous people. We are to break away from this Fulani terrorists that the Arab world are using to come and capture their land. I'm dumbfounded, in fact. By now, the man like that and they went after they killed him. Anybody that refuses their secret, they will come after that person and kill him. If a whole general told you that if you should wait for the military to defend you, you will all die one by one. What are you still waiting for, Nigeria? What are you still waiting for? You said you want to protest. Since the amalgamation of that country, there has been protest. The first election was rigged, and super rigged, according to them. There was a protest, and people were killed. Who were the people that used it, that killed them? It is the British. The British government handed over to Nigeria politicians that it is only killing that you will use to subdue your people that will stand up to correct the government that they did not want. So go after them and kill them. And that is the reason why whenever they kill our people, they are all silent. You understand?
Yeah.
Koiki media, let me use my mouth because I don't want to.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That is, again, a mother that is concerned, and we are always worried when our mother are concerned because the future seems not to be bright as we have been told in Nigeria. We'll go with the last person, then we'll take those calls coming through. Let's take World Best. Let's listen to you quickly, and then I will then come straight back to our callers that are calling in from this side. World Best, go ahead. I believe he's still connecting. Not too sure, maybe network issue there. If otherwise, I'm just going to go straight to my caller here, and the World Best will probably come back to you. So let's ring the first caller. Hopefully we get through with the caller. If not, we go straight to the second one. Once again, we are now towards the final part. It's 3 hours. The question is, who does not want Nigeria to be divided? Why is the issue between the federal government and Nnamdi Kanu still ongoing when an executive order by President Tinubu would have dozed up about some tension in the country, but that won't stop the self-determination, which is an inalienable right. It's our Sunday broadcast, and the final 30 minutes I'll be talking about what Akintoye said in some of his correspondence regarding the 95 page that we're treating. Like I said, we are in the week 9. Now, let me hand over to Bishop Adeyemo. Is one of our Yoruba nation leader that traveled to Benin Republic some few days ago to meet with our leader, Babawa, Professor Akintoye. Go ahead, Bishop. You've listened to the broadcast for 2 hours, and I want to take your own take on who does not want Nigeria to be divided. When Nnamdi Kanu, I want us to really specify that. What happened to Nnamdi Kanu? I saw you when I came to Nigeria in 2021. You visited Igboho's house. We were together for over 5 days. Nnamdi Kanu situation was almost what happened to Igboho on the 1st of July. So I want you to speak to us. Let's hear what you want to tell us this morning.
Thank you very much, Koiki. My greetings to all our people in diaspora and in homeland. Now, first I will start from Shewoki Baloye's saga. Anybody trying to mean well for the existence of that Nigeria will regret it. You will be at peace and be okay if you are standing for the division of that Nigeria. So now his advice to Tinubu for existence of Nigeria has brought him into trouble. Now they are telling him he's almost sacked now, if not sacked. So that's by the way. Now, the people in charge that doesn't want Nigeria to break is the Western government, Western countries. And when I mean West, I'm talking about 3 relying on this Western country, United Kingdom most especially, and let me talk about England. So they are the one, and it's not that they have grip on our country. It's not that they have grip. They are using influence. They are using influence. That's why they put on our government the slave masters. And nobody in our... When do you hear... Okay, when America want to do election, did Trump travel to Nigeria to come and hold any meeting here so that he can win the election in US? That's where you know. Why is it that whenever election is coming, all our candidates go to UK to go and hold one meeting? Who are they meeting there? Which hall did they want to use there that is not here? Why are they going there? It shows that it is that place that the kingmaker, that's where they are. So they are the one invariably or indirectly ruling us, and they don't want here to break. And the 100% decision is not in their hand. Our decision is in our hands. Decision is in our hand. They will have nothing to do if we take our stand and we break the shackle of the slave masters. But it's not for one year. They have no right. Yeah, but the more we are still looking at the slave masters as if they are part of us. No, they are slaves. They represent those Western nations, and they will do their bidding. So we are the one that will rise up and keep the asses away. Then we free ourselves. So that's my take. And we know now that just like the time of slave trade, colonization, there are some countries from the European world that have been here, but they have this problem among themselves also. They are now led to have someone to come and colonize. Some said, no, we don't want to colonize them, we don't want to be doing business with them. So they had their meeting in Berlin, and in Berlin they resolve all their differences and now share our land among themselves. You take this, you take the issue resolved. You want to colonize, go and colonize. You want to trade, go and trade. And that's how all of them divide. So the same thing is going to play out here. We have the Eastern Europe plus the Asian rising up as a rescue or a supporter or a desire now, while we have the Western nation laying hold on the former colonial states to be making them. Their power is going out of their hands. So there is going to be that conflict among them when we finally kick the asses out of this place and we got our freedom. And they will later resolve it among themselves later. That what we resolve to power shift. We will now have a new world order. Maybe you've been hearing about that new world order, and the power will shift to those who is now on the top, who mean well. There is no way we will not do business with them. Africa will always do business with them, but we are the one that will make sure that we do not put a slave master over us that will bound us as a slave to any one of them.
Wow. Thank you so much. That is Bishop giving us his take on that particular discussion. It is still Koiki Media. It's 10 minutes past to the 2 hours on this program. 11:33 is our Sunday broadcast. Many countries around the world, and I'm going to give us some statistics again to work with. But again, as we always say, Nigeria is not going to work. Your expectation that Nigeria will work is too late. What everybody should demand for now is the total dissolution and disintegration, the amalgamation, and let us have an independent country. There is no crime in asking for a country. Yoruba nation, Arewa nation, Ijo nation, all these countries have the right to self-determination, and that's exactly what we should all be demanding for. If you're trying to fix Nigeria, You might go draining it. Hello, caller, go ahead.
Good morning.
You're live.
Hello?
You're live with us, go ahead.
Okay. Yorùbá ni màá fi sọ̀rọ̀. In the past message yẹn sáwọn Yorùbá wa. Kí wọ́n lè máa gbọ́ mi dáadáa. Màá mix ẹ̀. Good morning everyone. Yẹ́rí ibi tí Nàìjíríà lọ sí. It's only a criminal that will say Nigeria should be restructured. What are we restructuring? What? Ṣé nǹkan tó ti shot into pieces? Nigeria tí ò láyé mọ́, Nigeria tí ò exist mọ́, Nigeria tí ẹ̀jẹ̀ lajú sílẹ̀. Wọ́n dà ní terrorist. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ń wá sí orí ilẹ̀ wa. Wọ́n wá ń take over ilẹ̀ wa. Wọ́n take over ilẹ̀ wa pẹ̀lú ammunition. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ ṣe sọ fún wa yí pé ká ṣe restructuring. Àwọn Fúlàní yìí wọ́n support ara wọn pẹ̀lú bó ṣe wà ní ọgbọ́ wa, bó ṣe kidnap wa, tí wọ́n pa wá, tí wọ́n rape àwọn èèyàn wa. Ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́gbà rí Fúlàní ẹyọ kan kó wà against wọn. Ẹ̀ẹ́rí Fúlàní kan bẹ́ẹ̀ kó wà against wọn. Our own Yoruba leaders, whenever somebody speaks about Fulanis, the terrorists that are in our villages, in our forest, that they should go out of that place. That place is not meant for them. If they want to live among us, let them come to the public space and live there, not in our forest. That is our forest reserve. Our forest is our lives. Is our life. Need láti lose ẹ̀ fún terrorist. Tabade sọ̀rọ̀ wípé those guys should leave our forest. It is the Yoruba leaders that will come up and start attacking Igboho. I think we need to start dealing with them now. I need láti deal pẹ̀lú wọn. Because ṣé wọ́n fẹ́ bà ayé wa jẹ́ ni? Kí ni ó wà ní ẹ̀mí wọn tí wọ́n ń bẹ̀rù gan-an tí Fúlàní bá ṣe bá wọn? Kí ni Fúlàní fẹ́ ṣe fún wọn tí Igboho ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ yìí pé ẹ̀yin terrorists wà ní oko wa? You guys have to leave now. That place is not meant for you. Leave our forest. Ṣé àwọn ẹni Yorùbá tó jẹ́ pé ó lọ sí north tó lọ jókòó sínú forest wọn káwọn farmers wọn má lè dá oko? Is there any westerner in the northern forest? Are we living in the forest? We live in the city. We live in the public space where people can see us and recognize us and know our activity. But these guys have evil agenda. And we Yorubas knew, these leaders knew they have evil agenda. The evil leaders knew they have evil agenda. And whenever we, the youth, are complaining, talking that we have to defend our land, it is this same elder that will tell us not to do it. What is the problem? Ṣé owó tó ń gbà lọ́wọ́ àwọn Fúlàní, òun is it the money they are collecting? That is ní ọ̀jẹ̀ kí wọ́n lè ronú ni àbí kí ni? Èyí fẹ́ wá pa wá nulẹ̀, a lè sọ pé a rí ẹni kó tó pa wá. Let us defend ourselves. You are telling us not to defend ourselves. That means you want them to come and kill us. Why? What are we waiting for? You are kicking against Igboho that you should not give ultimatum to Fulani in the forest. Did Igboho send Fulani in the city or the Fulani that are doing their legit business? Did Igboho threaten them? No. Whenever we talk about Fulani in the forest, that they should believe, that means the terrorists in the forest. Are you keeping terrorists for God's sake? If Sheyi Makinde working with terrorists, we should know. If he's working with terrorists, we should know. We should ask him. I need that even away. But the way we're going to ask him is going to be, in fact, it's unimaginable. The way we're going to ask him. Because I wouldn't mind if he cared. If any Yoruba leaders
But you governor, you are saying, now we have to start dealing with them. Dealing with them mercilessly. Because I don't know why they are defending Fulani. Why are they defending Fulani? We need to ask them that question. You guys are saying the Fulanis have surrendered us. They want to kill us. They want to take over our land. And remember, the history still remains there. Their forefather, Usman said Nigeria belongs to them. It's their forefather estate. And at the end of the day, now look at what they are telling us their plans. And you will see our kings sitting there with that terrorist, sitting there with him. You will see our kings sitting there with their kings. You will see our own kings going to their kings for help. You will see our own governor sitting there with their governor. They're going to kill a Jamaica O'Shea. They're going to kill a Jamaica O'Shea. And then you go to war, and then feel you pay, and when I want you, and you are still sitting with them. You are still sitting with them. You are happy with them, you are laughing with them. Then you don't even feel remorse that these people, they are the one sending those bandits, the northern elite, the northern governors, the northern leaders. They are the ones sending those terrorists into our villages to go and kill, and destroy our farmland, so that they can take over our land. And you government will still go to Abuja or wherever, go to Sokoto, go to this, go to that, go to Sokoto, and sit with them and be laughing with them. And they are doing it. They are killing your own people. And you are just why I love Ojukwu. That's why I love Ojukwu. Ojukwu is not a pretender. We Yoruba, we are bad, we are pretenders. The leaders are pretenders. We have to stand up to them. We the youth, we have to stand up to them and make sure we take over our land. Make sure we take over our land. That is our land. That is what God gave us. There is no bastard Fulani that will come to my land and start dictating for me. Because I don't know, why are these people scared of these Fulani? Why are they scared? Is it not God that they will be used? The Fulani have two lives. It's only one life. You kill me, I kill you. That's it.
All right, thank you so much for holding on as well. Much. And I was doing some breakfast for my son there. Thank you so much. Let me come back to the Twitter space because we still have our brothers here. The Biafras are with me. I have the Hausas. I'm sure there are some of them are listening. Some of their learned ones and the unlearned ones, they're listening to us, and likewise the people from the jaw as well. Let me come to my mother first. I'm going to come to you, Mimi Venture, Mommy Ellen Peter there. The question around Nnamdi Kanu, why is the British government not doing so much? You will expect that Nnamdi Kanu, with the British passport, there will be pressure with the British government. We have a new government in place now. I haven't seen any move from there. I know that the Biafra will probably be making a push with the new government to see what, especially David Lammy is the foreign minister, and we hope that they will be doing some kind of engagement. But I want to know, why is the British government not doing so much when it comes to, I'm currently on a live program right now, my program live. So why is the British government not doing so much when it comes to this particular Nnamdi Kanu's case? Can you give us some kind of what you think is happening? I've been there when many Biafrans have protested right at the FCDO, in front of the Downing Street, in front of the Nigerian High Commission, but yet the British government kept very mute, especially when the last British High Commissioner, Katrina Lang, she closed her comment section because she was getting too much from the Biafra. Let me hear from you if you're still with me, Mrs. Ellen Peter, if you're still there. Go ahead. If otherwise, I would move that straight question again to Mimi Venture. Then we're going to take more calls. We still have about 40 minutes to the end of this Sunday broadcast this morning on the 21st of July 2024. Go ahead, Mimi Venture.
Yeah, thank you for this second opportunity. Before I address your question, first of all, I just want to correct some things that you are saying. I don't understand. Maybe you clarify that later. You are mentioning the John Nation. I don't know John Nation or Biafra Nation. I don't understand. Just to verify that. I know Ijo is in Biafra.
Okay.
Then to go to your question, the first caller has already addressed this thing. This is your question. He said the British, they don't want Nigeria to break.
Okay.
And they know what and they stand for. It's the solution of Nigeria. So that's just the reason why you see them not even responding, not saying anything. They know Nnamdi Kanu is for the solution to break up Nigeria, let my people go. Since you have killed us, you have killed the millions of the children and everyone. So let my people go. So that is could probably be the reason why they keep for all this saga. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. For that response there in terms of these, why the British are not interested with their citizen. It now shows that citizenship or nationalism is probably not something that many of us must understand now, that it's just something that sometimes we might think that we have this passport with us, but it might be as useless as tissue paper, because why would a British citizen not given the opportunity to be represented fully in a country like Nigeria today? Hello, caller, you're live on the program. Go ahead. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Are you calling towards the program?
I'm the one calling you.
Sorry? Yeah, we can hear you.
I want to talk to you, please.
Well, I'm on a live program right now. It'll probably have to be some later when we finish. We're live now on the program.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, thank you, sir.
Well, like we always say, we have one more person. Let's bring them in, and then we're going to start wrapping up in the next 32 minutes or 38 minutes to the end of the program. Let's read some of the comment that is coming through as well. Adeyemo said the youth are so weak. We need deal with the Yoruba leaders. You also say Yoruba youth are not cooperative. They too are weak, waiting for the world to do everything for them. Ayotunde Olaoye says, and some of our kings are silent after they killed the 4 kings, and as they're killing people anyhow, they remain silent. We remember the Owo massacre and as many as well. Dari says, no retreat, no surrender. Voted, I pity the so-called politicians in Nigeria. It seems they don't know that their so-called Nigeria are not normal anymore. Their right will look like a mad fighting. They will regret of being a politician. Also, John Danny says, last man standing there. Dari says, she won't speak up, but it seems that he's paying the consequences. Ama Uche, the way in Italy, says, share the program and invite others as well. Bendy said, Tinubu goes to France to give progress report to his masters. Idris says, I always laugh at when I see people, they are proud Nigerians. I always burst into laugh because they don't know the meaning of the name Nigeria. And I think we might have a video where it says, are we Nigerians or not? Let me see if I quickly bring that in before we allow the next person to come in and have a discussion with us on this platform this morning. Like I always say, Nigeria was created for a reason, and that reason has expired. It is time that we talk about it rather than what if this person say Nigeria is not a country. Listen to this.
There is no land called Nigeria. There is no language called Nigeria. There are no people called Nigerians. We are only deceiving ourselves. We are not Nigerian. Okay, where is Nigeria? Where is the land called Nigeria? What is the Nigerian language? We are nations that had been forced together to live in one pathetic country. So anybody who goes there today to say pray for Nigeria, that person is just deceiving himself, because the people who want to be that Nigeria had not sat down to agree if they want to be Nigeria.
Well, you had it very well. Let's, at 11:48, Ekene, let me hear from you. You got 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, I'm going to drop you so that we can allow the next person to come through as well. Go ahead or mute your mic, please. One more time, Ekene John, you have the mic now. After that, if not, we'll bring it back to listening. You can speak now. You got 3 minutes. All right. It seems that Ekene It's probably not with us. We remove you from the speaker. We need people to be on the speaker. We don't want you to be sitting there if you have nothing to say yet. So we bring 2 more people in, and then I'm going to not bring anybody in because I want to conclude and summarize this program again. Like I will say, President Bola Tinubu can still do the needful by issuing an executive order for the release of Nnamdi Kanu without any condition. You will not give him a condition that, oh, we are releasing you now, so you can go. But you don't talk about the Biafra nation anymore. Oh, Igbowo, come back to Yoruba land. Do whatever you want to do, but you cannot talk about Yoruba nation. All that cannot happen. So let us get that clear. Let's start with Sir Williams. Let's hear from you. Sir Williams, Daddy, let's give you 3 minutes on the mic. And then we can move to the next person quickly.
Thank you, my brother. Am I coming out?
Loud and clear.
I thank you for what you are doing. I pray God is going to come there and continue to sustain you, protect you from the evil eyes of MI and M6, M15 and MI5 and MI6. We should not see you, and the zoo, the Almighty zoo, will never see you. All this I pray in his mighty name. Yes, my brother, the topic Nnamdi Kanu, Prophet Nnamdi Kanu, and the federal government. There is no case between Nnamdi Kanu and the federal government. You see, these are criminals who went all the way to kidnap a leader of over 80 million people. So how can that be the case? You kidnap somebody, you want to dialogue with him, you want to negotiate with him, you want to tell him you will not allow him to grow only in condition. Who does that? Who appropriates and reprobates in the manner that suits him? You see, Shero is a name, journalist. I call him journalism type of journalism. That is Shero. He has eaten so much brown envelope in $5,000 all these years. And now his masters, the Fulanis, have set him up against Tinubu. And he's playing and he's trying to generate attention for sympathy. Nobody gives a sympathy to a liar, I don't want to say criminal because there's no story from me. But these are deceivers. People who lie with their eyes and mouth, white people, showing power. Showing is just like all those other journalists. They are all criminals in terms of journalism because they can never speak truth to us. We will see where injustice is committed. We will turn it around and ask you questions of what has been done by Martin and the Kanu is the one that we did this and that. But today we never tell you how the zoo, the group, all the governors, all the politicians in the zoo now conspired and went against an innocent man and kidnapped him. And then the court has given him judgment, both locally and internationally, giving him, go ahead to go home free, to go and enjoy with his family, but the zoo still keep going. Who does that? How can we be talking about foundation of Nigeria? Nigeria does not exist because this is a country that potentials, the those with a big scale came all the way from where they come from and come and say, you are now called Niger area. And the people that call themselves professors have been determining this name that was given to them from pit of hell. The name that does not win anything. Nigeria, if you Google it, you will see that it's everything evil, just like they call you Africa. The same thing, everything evil. How can we defend this thing? Because they thought giving 100-year agreement that if after 100 years, everybody can go in separate ways if we cannot live together. They thought within 100 years, they would have killed everybody and then make it.
All right. It looks like his mic is already dropped there. Very good, information coming from the brother there. Now let's come back into the program as we are just about half an hour, and I want to make sure we get the final part very, very well. A lot of Nigerians continue to say, oh, the problem of Nigeria, is this, is that. But how do we, good morning to my brother there, Yoruba Media, also the deputy chair of the Yoruba World Media, one of the strong member of the Yoruba Nation campaigners. The Yoruba people that are speaking out today are not speaking out because we do not want Tinubu to be the president. We are speaking out because we are concerned about the maltreatment of the Yoruba people within Nigeria. We also know that we are part of those that are still holding Nigeria together today. And everybody knows that. If the Yorubas come out together and say enough is enough, the country will go their separate way. But there are still millions of Yoruba people that are politicians, we know them, that are using the political path to say to our people, let's keep Nigeria because that is going to be in the best interest of everybody. But according to Self-Determination Article 3, indigenous peoples have the right to self-determination. By virtue of that right, they freely determine their political status, not the one that is currently running under the fraudulent country called Nigeria today. We are freely their economic, social, and cultural development. Nigeria doesn't have a culture, neither does it have a land. The land belongs to the indigenous people. But many of those that always come and say we should save Nigeria, my question is, how do you save something that does not want to be saved in the first place? The 1999 Constitution that President Bola Tinubu is using presently as amended is another fraud that many of us knows. The Constitution will not bind us together, neither will the Constitution save Nigeria today. So what those that are fighting today for is what fighting for. Many people have lost their life, and many will still lose their life. We talked about Nnamdi Kanu for almost 2 hours, but let me remind you that the same almost happened to Igboho when his house was invaded and he was almost killed by the Fulani and the Yoruba Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. We lost 2 individuals. Their corpses still remain within the Nigeria as we speak today. And that literally means that Alhaji Fatai and likewise Adisa Said Adogan bodies were taken away from Igboho's residence on the 1st of July 2021 because they were just finding themselves in Igboho's house when the Fulani invaded and both were murdered. Today, all these continue to build up. Let's leave those that are not even in support of self-determination. Let me remind you of a lawyer, December 2023, if I'm right, Bolanle Rahim was shot dead by a police officer in Lagos State. She might not believe in self-determination or Biafra country, Yoruba country, but she was killed by the same weapon that is meant to protect the citizen. So let me allow Nads to come through, and that will be it this afternoon as we will be winding down. For those of you on the Twitter space, thank you so much for the contribution of those that have spoken already. And those that will be listening to the repeat of this program, my question is, how do we resolve the problem between the federal government and Nnamdi Kanu? Nnamdi Kanu should be released, and it needs to be released now, not tomorrow. I'm not too sure why even Tinubu is still holding on to that criminal DG of the DSS, Bichi. I would even want to see a Yoruba man there than see Bichi. That might not change anything, but it seems like I always say, Tinubu is just another weaker element that is confronted by many obstacles, just as we know, and we told him already. So now you have 3 minutes. After that, I would then allow you to come off as well. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening from my location. Am I coming out clear?
Loud and clear.
Okay, Coco Media, thank you very much for your work. We pray that Almighty God should protect you and your family. Regardless of everything said, I will say that we are not doing enough. We agitating for separation to be on our own. Because, the powers that be, unlike the deep state that tried to kill Trump, they never succeeded. Though karma is coming from them. In Nnamdi Kanu's case, the elite doesn't care about him. I will not bring tribe and ethnicity here. All I just want us to do as individuals, let us have like minds. Let us come together, Yorubas and Igbos. Let us build a very serious security means of keeping things secret, where if we want something, it should be known to the public. Because this foreign body is holding us back. Because let me tell you something, this elite doesn't have power because they serve their masters, which are the Westerners. The only way we can lead these people and get them to think right is for us to go to their establishment they have in that contraption. We have enemies. There are things we know we can do to make them shake and release the numbers and Nnamdi every freedom fighter that's been detained by that contraption. I will suggest that for us to come together, raise up the finances. Whatever we need to equip ourselves for this movement should be done in secrecy. Because I see that the Bible says something, it says that the kingdom of God is very violent and the violent to gain by force. What belongs to us is our right. And by the UN law, everybody has rights to say they don't want anymore. They want to stay on their own and have their own country. So when things are going in that contraption now, nobody really cares, nobody's listening. They only believe that they have the power to do whatever they like. But once we start to use things, tools that we have, to attack these people one by one, believe me, these things we are talking of won't be saying much here. Look at Amazonia, look at the effort they are putting to make sure that they get their own liberation. They are fighting tooth and nail to make sure they get their own country. We are not doing enough. We in the contraction. With these two tribes now, Yoruba and Igbos, we are not doing much. We should forget these elites. They can't do anything. Their power is, in fact, they don't have any power. Their power is beyond. We should come, as I said, we have share, we have total. This company, we hit them. If we hit them and bomb their facilities, Nnamdi Kanu will come out. We block our boundaries and say no, this place is not trespassable. This is the only way we can get we can start from there. That is the starting point to whatever for this cause or for this self-determination. That's all I can say.
All right. Thank you so much. Not from there. We have on the call here. I know there's 3 more requests that are coming through. We still have about just 20 minutes. I'll squeeze them in. But please, when you come in, just make it straight. But before we bring you in, let's go straight to our caller, Omobori Media. Is also the deputy chair of the Yoruba World Media and also one of the self-campaigner for Yoruba Nation as well. Go ahead, my brother. We can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, thank you, my brother, for this intensive program. We just said the topic is very catch-up, and what we need to understand is that we Yoruba and the Igbo, we have a common enemy, and then the only thing that we're thinking of is how to fight our common enemy instead of fighting ourselves. That's number one. And those people who believe in Nigeria, we have just made a mistake. Nigeria is already a dead country. If you look at what happened about a few days ago when Oluwole was requesting the senator, the House of Senate, that allow the military to have direct contact to their money who was deported to them. But the senator fought against it. We all saw the video. That is what you call a battle of the mindset. They really see us as someone that is not even serious. And then what they put in mind that they make sure that we don't really understand what is going on in the Senate. Because now they make sure that even those people that cannot even eat 3 meals in a day, how do you want somebody to look at the procedure or to look at what is happening in the house? But the only way that we can solve this problem, it is when the Igbo and the Yoruba realize that we have the same common enemy, and we need to fight together as one to win our battle. We should really think about this. It's very, very very important than someone who said Lagos is not mastered or will be threatened. That's what Adek said. He said when the two brothers are fighting, and then the stranger will inherit their property. If we are fighting ourselves, or saying that what we need to take now, what we need to really focus on is to focus on how we will unite ourselves as one nation. Igbo, Hausa, Ijaw, and other ethnic group to unite ourselves and fight this minority. They are minority, and then look at how they are being to us. I saw one video this morning when Yoruba was begging a white man. I will send the clip to my brother.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yoruba was begging a white man to stop the Boko Haram.
I saw that.
And then the house, Oshiomhole raised it in the house that the money was meant for security. It was being diverted to build universities, to build private institutions, which this money is supposed to be going directly to the account of the security so they can use the money for proper weapons. But the house voted against it. And then those senators, they are still moving around. We are not storing them. We are not destroying. Even though I don't even really understand what is happening to us, because things are openly that the senator, they are not for us. I will just stop here. We all need to work together as one. Nigeria is dead, and you believe that Nigeria cannot work again. If you believe in Nigeria, then you are a dead man living in life. Nigeria cannot work. So use this medium because I know 80% of people are watching Koiki. I'm using this medium to call for my Igbo people. Please, let us stop being accusing ourselves. Let us stop being talking about something that has happened in the past, that Oluwole and Nnamdi and this. Let us stop all this. Many countries have fighted before in the past, and then they become friends today. Let us sit down in the round table and how to fight. The government cannot help to us if we are united. The government cannot do anything if both the Igbo and the Yoruba have the same one voice. That is exactly what we need to win this battle, and I pray God will really help us to do so. Thank you so much, my brother.
Well, that is one of our strong member of the Yoruba World Media. You can listen to Yoruba World Media on a Wednesday, and likewise you can follow them on our timeline. I'll be sharing the YouTube of the Yoruba World Media because many Biafra probably doesn't. Can you slow down a little bit? Hello, boy. Hi, can you slow it a little bit? I'm almost finished. Just fine now. Many of our people does not know that I am not the only one campaigning, even though you might have seen my activities. I'm coming to those of you on the Twitter space in a minute. You tend to see my activities a lot on the social media, but likewise, I can tell you that the Yoruba World Media has been part of this beginning of the campaign for Yoruba Nation. And under the Yoruba World Media, I know that, like I said, you do not know them, but I'm telling you that we have nothing less than almost 15 strong Yoruba members. Some of them are not active on the Twitter space, but a lot of them are on the social media, on TikTok. Most importantly, they are communicating in Yoruba, which you cannot blame them. They want our people to listen to what we are discussing. So if you go on our platform, you will see a lot of the videos that have been produced. And I believe that I think about 2 weeks ago, Akintoye and one of our brothers from the southeast had an engagement together, spoke, and Akintoye will be live again later on at 8:30 tonight. So please let us always understand that. I know you see me a lot on Twitter, but be rest assured that we have many Yoruba people that are still campaigning. And always please do not believe that because Tinubu is there, that Yoruba Nation is there. Igbo doesn't have to be appearing on the screen. I spoke just last week. You can see how everywhere is shaking again. Igbo just asked me to speak about the invasion of the Fulani that we are clearing out in Okeogun. Not everything come on the social media, so let us understand that. So let me come to Worry's sister. We still have my mother, Eileen. Like I said, I'm really now coming to timing. It's 2 hours 44 minutes. This program was not go more than 3 hours. So Worry's sister, go ahead. Let's hear from you quickly under 3 minutes with your presentation.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
It's coming out loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon from here. Good afternoon, everybody. Koiki, I love you so much. This is my first time of coming to your platform.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry, please pardon my voice.
That's okay. We can hear you. Go ahead. That's fine.
say thank you very much. I really appreciate you doing this. Thank you so much. Like our leader would say, it's only him that is crazy. They would think it's just him that is mad. But now we have so many of us that are crazy that really want to show to so-called Zuko that we are crazy. Somebody just said we are not doing enough. We have a template. Our PM said we should follow the template. And the template is playing out. And everybody is saying that's why they are still asking for his head. If there is no template, or if it's not doing so much, they will not ask for his blood. They will not ask for his face. They just want to crucify this guy because they know it's the tongue on their neck, on their shoulders, but they can't swallow it, they can't vomit it. They can't do absolutely nothing with him. So just like you pray, Tinubu have power and the utmost right without blinking to release our leader. And I'm so happy that you're speaking because you said in one of your tweets that you always post our PS program, but they keep on taking it out.
Yes.
Those are the works of the zoo. We should carry on doing. You just took a word from my mouth because I wanted to ask that why is the not speaking anymore? Because we can't hear him speak. Because his voice is like a thunder. His voice comes for help. His voice is the voice that cries from the wilderness. Why is he not speaking? Why is he sending someone to speak on his behalf? We want to hear his voice like every other people that are fighting for freedom. Please, my brother, I know you are doing so much, but just you alone can't do it just like our PM said. If we are not supporting him, if we are not here to tell him what you are doing is great, is right, that is what I know you are doing. But once in a while, please allow him to come out to speak to us. Let us know that you are doing tough. Because instead, you said that when you and the Togo and our leader and our PM were in a meeting, that those idiots that want to hang themselves in the transformer, that they are not there, that they can go and hang themselves. So with that point, I'm going to end my mic now because there are so many people here. With that point, I want to hear him come out and speak for our leader. Please, I beg you. Let him go come out and speak for our leader. I have my mic. God bless you.
And I can assure you that your message will be delivered to Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho as a spokesman. That the Biafra, we are, there's a meeting that also, we're working together. Like I said, I won't give too much of the details, but be rest assured that very, very soon, some of you will see, more than what you might not expect. But let me not let the cat loose out of the bags because of our enemies, especially, like I said, this platform is being monitored by Sultan of Sokoto. They've set up a media to go live with me to record and monitor everything I say. Even though I'm speaking Yoruba, they already have Yoruba people that are translating what I say. So what you said again, I'll be delivering that to Igboho. Just about a few minutes ago, he sent me a message, telling me about whether I've seen or not the Fulani terrorists, and that was just about. I sent him the latest news that I've sent to him. Stop putting the mic up there. A Nigerian TikToker remanded in prison after calling for protest over prevailing hardship. Also, I sent him the gunmen killed 2 adopted many passengers in Ondo State. He also sent me something at 10:08. So be rest assured, my sister Worry, I will deliver that message that you want Igboho to speak more on behalf of Nnamdi Kanu's case, so that Tinubu might probably listen to Igboho. We don't know, but again, all that is important. I'm going to bring Ellen Peter in. We called it earlier. I believe there was a network glitch, or maybe you were frying that egg for the Sunday broadcast and you're preparing for the church service. This program will be ending soon and everybody can go and do the church service. But again, remember, this is our service as well. Go ahead. I don't know whether you had my question earlier, but I'm going to repeat it with the one you want to ask. Why is the British government not doing so much to get Nnamdi Kanu released from the DSS custody after the kidnap and rendition back to Nigeria?
Thank you very much. much, my brother Koiki Media, once again for bringing me up. I appreciate your work, and I thank you very much, my worried sister. I love you from the bottom of my heart, and the way you spoke of, I really appreciate what you have done. Our brother Sunday Gogo, I know he's hearing our message. We are in pain not hearing his voice again. It's like a disappointment to us, so we want to hear more from him. We want to see that he's standing head and head with us for this freedom, because we forget that is the only thing that will save people also. So he shouldn't be silent. He shouldn't allow the politicians to intimidate him. No way. We must stand up to win to get our freedom. Then according to your question, my brother, why is it that the British government is not doing much to free Nnamdi Kanu or speak about it? They are the people that help Nigerian terrorists Fulani candidate to kidnap him, because they know he wants to collapse their big kingdom. You understand? The British government, they don't want us to go just because of the resources. And that is the reason why they have to collide with the Fulani and the Kenyan government to make sure they monitor his movement and kidnap him. So somebody that kidnaps something, do you think that person will also come for it to say, okay, go and release that? No. You understand? It's like a man that stole something from you and you want him to still bring that thing to you. It won't happen.
You slow that 1 minute. Slow that finally. 1 minute, my sister. I can assure us that, we have a gentleman, a man of the people, a man that listens to the people's voice. And that is exactly what we need. I have the privilege to announce that I have Dr. Sunday Igboho on the live with me right now. And he will speak to us just for about a few minutes. He's a very, very busy man. I have to go and drag him. So go ahead, Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho. The Biafra wants to hear from you.
We want to hear from you.
Go ahead, sir.
We want to hear from you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My sister, I'm very happy to talk to you too. I assure you, by the grace of God, our brother Nnamdi Kanu will be released very soon. By the grace of God, not by our power, but we are together. Then we are fighting for the same cause. So we need to join our hand together to call our elderly people in Biafra and Yoruba land to talk to powerful people to release my brother to us. I know that by the grace of God, he will be released very soon. Thank you so much, and God bless you, sir. Amma.
Thank you so much. That is Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho joining us from his base in Germany, assuring us again that Igboho would do much more talking so that Nnamdi Kanu can be released. Today is the Sunday broadcast, it's a special one. 24/7/2024, 16 minutes past 12 p.m. The request came from Wari's sister, and that request has been delivered. And the video, part of that will still come out when he will be doing a video through the Yoruba World Media. So you need to follow the Yoruba World Media. If you are Biafra, you never support and follow Yoruba World Media, it is where you will hear Igboho speak about that at a particular time. But like I said, there's so much other things happening that we do not want to let out of the cart. But I can assure you that there's cordial relationship between us and you. So that is Koiki Media Live on Sunday broadcast. So go ahead, Sister Ellen, you have the last 1 minute. I will not be able to bring anybody in. I have to get this living room to my family so that they can have their Sunday brunch. If otherwise, our woman, they might start saying, you are giving us trouble in this house. And if you want peace in the house, just make sure you keep your wife and family happy. Family come first, they say. Go ahead, Sister Ellen, one more time before we let the broadcast come into an end.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate our comrade Sunday Igboho for speaking to us, for answering us quickly. We really love him. We appreciate him, and we want him to keep standing. Please keep standing. We know the road is difficult. Do not give to the politicians, because you can see they are killing your people already. Even though there was an agreement that between the Fulani and the Yoruba people, but yet they still keep killing them. Please Please, we want your action on ground as before. We want it on ground because that was what was shaking them, so that it should not be like it's only with the Biafrans alone. Everybody wants to go, but the action will prove that yes, you want to go, you want to be free. Freedom is not cheap. It is not giving. It is taken by force. And we will all unite together, just as you have said. We will all unite together and get this freedom. That is it. Thank you very much for addressing us that yes, you are with us. You always listen to us. We thank you. We appreciate you for coming up to speak. Thank you very much. And my message to the caliphate, to the Fulani caliphate in Afro, I am telling you that right now, you can never take over our land with Biafra. As I'm talking, I'm not supposed to give Biafra. You should know from my accent. You should know I am not supposed to give Biafra. I am from the so-called South that you are saying they are not so-called. We are 100% Biafra because that is who we are before the amalgamation came up. That is who we are. So nobody can divide us any longer. We have known who we are and we have given our support to Nnamdi Kanu that we are all Biafrans and we are ready to fight this freedom together. You are not going to cross your boundary from the north and come over to take over our land in the south. No way. We will tell you, and that is why we are right now on guerrilla warfare with you. Do not think you will in your dream take over our land and Fulanize and Islamize us. No way. We have our own way. Our religion, we have it. We have our culture that is quite different from you, that is coming from the Sahel. So come and impose your culture or religion for us. So that will never be done. Holding in Nnamdi Kanu, you are holding yourself to the ground because the one that is even more crazier than Nnamdi Kanu is on charge right now. He's the man that is in charge, and he will, like he has started dealing with you, he will continue to deal with you. You close door against the terrorists that is targeting you in the north, and you run to the east where there is nothing going on there. All we are doing over there is to defend our land from these same terrorists that you imported from Sahel to come and take over indigenous people's land. We are defending our land, and you are coming to kill us just to take over our land and use it to the Fulani from Sahel, which will never happen. The world is watching that we are defending our land, and you will never conquer us. So holding in Africa, you are only just holding yourself because you want in charge right now. You can't stop it.
Wow, very powerful there. Thank you.
Everything that. Hello, can you hear me?
We can still hear you, yes.
Okay, I thought I got up. So that is it. You cannot stop him, and we will unite with our brother in the West, even though you are still dividing us. The division will never stand again because they also have known the truth that the only danger we have right now is the division of Nigeria. It is only Nigeria's division that will help protect your border from the invader Fulani that they have imported from Sahel. Because even when you say you want regional government this and that, if you not send back the Fulani that is killing you, that have thrown hunger into your country, now you cannot even buy 3 cups of rice and food. You understand? So for all this to stop, it is only division. You that is deceiving yourself to be calling yourself one Nigeria. One Nigeria will only seek you to grave because it will never help you. There is nothing like one Nigeria. There is no country that is big or one. If we are in UK, yes. Why are they not calling it one UK or one British or one Germany or one America? Why is it not like? Why is it that it is Nigeria by force by fire? You want us to be one? No way. Fulani Caliphate, you are a terrorist. You are an alien sent from Sahel to come and deport indigenous people, and we are saying no to your project, to your agenda. We are saying no. Thank you very much, Koiki Media. God bless and continue to empower you. I use my mind. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. And that is the final from our mother there, And we'd like to appreciate all our medias as well that have joined us, Alaja Queenara and Omoborio Media and the rest of you. I will not be able to mention the names. It's exactly 3 hours. So what we're going to do, we give a special one to the Biafra anthem before our own anthem to close this broadcast. I can't bring anybody in again. The time is already on my side. But one thing is, the struggle, they say, continue. The truth must always prevail. The mainstream media will not support the dissolution of Nigeria. But you would have to support those medias, regardless of their views or what they say, because those are the only ones that are speaking the truth right now. Shout out to our brother, our uncle, our mothers all over the world. Wherever they are, let us keep the fight going. Happy Sunday from my end. Sorry to you, our brother, our father, Candice Hussein Salami. I couldn't get your call in. Tony Aegis, Grace Olushoto, and to my mother, that returned back from Benin Republic just to send a message. I sent her to Benin Republic, just 2 messages. I wanted her to deliver on my behalf to Igboho, and that cost us a lot of money. But we appreciate that she's back with me in London, and we are preparing as well as Igboho will be in London. Officially will be announced on the Yoruba World Media, but I can just give you the snip. Igboho will be in London in October, God's willing, for what we call a massive engagement with the Yoruba people, and as well as many people that are friends and lovers. So if you're Biafra, you're in UK, you might also be looking forward to that. There will be a dinner. There will also be a massive protest in central London, and there will be so much as well. So all that will be announced officially from the Yoruba World Media at the appropriate time. We are not fighting Tinubu, but we are saying to Tinubu, release Nnamdi Kanu, and without any kind of message to say, oh, we will release you, but you will not be able to say about Biafra again. No, it will not work like that. And on that note, happy Sunday. Bye for now. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a very blessed Sunday and a happy new week ahead. God bless Yoruba land. God bless Biafra land. God bless Ambasonia, Scottish world, and the Arewa, and as many people that wants to be free around the world. Blessed everybody.